Reynolds, we started this race in the daytime, thought there might even be a little sunlight. What are the drivers going to find when they fire these cars are different, running a car that was tuned for the daylight, now late at night?
Yeah, normally at a track like Daytona, Mike, the car will just gain overall grip. The track is going to have more grip. I don't know that the balance of the car is
well, good news. Everything you learned in the dual race now applies. We have a night race on our hands.
It was run late at night, so they kind of know what to expect. Of course, they can't make any adjustments to compensate for that until they truly make a pit stop. You know, we only have 9 laps on our tires. We're kind of outside the fuel window to make it to the end of stage 1, but I still would not be surprised to maybe see teams come to pit road and go ahead and top it off with fuel. We may even see some drivers do.
Hold on, can't see comments yet. If there are any yet.
16 cars involved. You see the mechanics right in the ready position.
So, reminder, Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman, Tyler Reddick, Eric Almirola, Ryan Blaney, Chris Buescher, Martin Truex, Christopher Bell, Matt DiBenedetto, William Byron, David Reagan, Anthony Alfredo, Eric Jones, Alex Bowman, Shane McMurray, Daniel Suarez were all in that wreck. Some of these cars look like they can continue. Truex, Kurt Busch, Byron. There's a few. Maybe Anthony Alfredo. Yeah, there's a few survivors of that wreck.
Under the policy, right? The vehicle policy.
Yes, Jeff, this is a live instant replay. Sit back and enjoy. So, the cars that were good in the dual race are going to be really good here, I think. Austin Dillon, Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano. Tyler Reddick, DiBenedetto, they're probably toast. Drivers are in the cars. We're just waiting for the signal. I'm excited. Yeah, look, if Logano crashes, I don't care if Kyle Busch wins. Because hey, Kyle Busch finally won the Daytona 500. I'm just worried about Logano. I hope Kurt Busch's car will still run good enough for him.
Just iterate. It's a 6-minute clock, and it's a cumulative. And that includes entering and exiting pit road. Now, once you get that car back up to full speed, which could not happen until we have a restart, the clock goes away. You can continue to work on it.
Pit road's a little less crowded now with some cars already out of the race. I know Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney, Ryan Newman, Eric Almirola, Alex Bowman, they're definitely out. Other guys look like they're about to be out, just trying to run a lap or two past the guys that wrecked with them. That's what DiBenedetto thinks their team is aiming to do, just to get out here, ride under caution, and then probably park it if it ain't going to run.
Food early in the rain delay. In his fire suit as a drive-up window. All right, Fox Bet Super 6 Stage 2 questions. By the end of Stage 2, how many cars will be out of the race?
We're only 15 laps complete in this damn race.
Yeah, biggest mover. Number of cautions.
This manufacturer will win this thing, Stage 2. Which team will win?
And which of the drivers...
Hey, good news. The West Coast people get to watch this race in prime time. It's 6 o'clock on the West Coast, and they're more important than us, so congratulations, West Coast people. 9 o'clock here, 9:01. Hey, Michael. Hey, Robert. Jeff. Doom. Wherever Lori is.
I wonder what the over-under is on
and whoever else drops by.
Kevin Harvick texted me during the break just a little bit ago. He said, man, are we really going to get back going? You know, now that you're a TV guy, so when you're a racer down under these rain delays, Mike, everybody's kind of texting one another, trying to get to NASCAR. Anybody got any updates? Are we going to call this thing? We're not. Kevin,
it really looked like this thing was going to get called for the day, but a giant band of storms broke up short of the racetrack, gave them just enough time to get the track dried again, and the forecast improves as the night goes on. Long ass delay. I sat back and I played some games and watched like 3 episodes of Chappelle's Show. That's how I filled the rain delay. Playing GTA 4, Arkham Asylum, and then I watched Chappelle's Show. Was going to play Madden because I didn't think we were going to get this race started. Then I started reading the updates and had the live Fox Sports Twitter broadcast thing on, watching them dry the track. And I was like, okay, they're probably going to get this thing going again. Hopefully. I think they're still doing some work on the top part of the racetrack where the wall meets the asphalt. That's why we're just sitting here right now. But I saw drivers and cars, so I had to start a stream. Homestead last God. We got 3 straight races in Florida to start the fucking year. At least next week they'll race in the rain. That's the only good thing. The only thing that's going to stop us next week is lightning.
Look at this left front right here.
They can race in the rain on the road
I
course.
think he's ready.
Now, if you're going to continue in the race, as Larry said, you must get to minimum speed. That means you must run.
Just saw Bob Levine earlier saying if Michael McDowell was in Bubba's car, he'd do better than Bubba. Michael McDowell.
That's pretty doable.
I said to Bob Levine on Twitter, I'm surprised he didn't block me. So why don't you just go ahead and say you don't like black people, dude?
Not so much.
Dusty old bitter white guy taking backhanded shots at a black guy. He was saying that Bubba just doesn't have the skill level to compete with the guys left in this race. And it's like, oh really? But Michael McDowell does, huh? Michael fucking McDowell. Fuck you, Bob Levine. You go cry on fucking Twitter some more about how you're a crappy car owner, but blame everybody else for it. A lot of single file to start this race. Well, there wasn't enough of it earlier, Michael. That's why we had a 15-car pileup, but I would suspect things will kind of calm down. I think that was a good wake-up call. You know, the Clash being on the road course, there were no big wrecks in that. The dual races had like one bad wreck between the 2 races. Everybody, for the most part, got through it okay. I think that wreck earlier was a bit of a wake-up call. And, you know, now that we're all reminded, as if they need reminding, we're reminded of the danger. Things will calm down. I'm fine with that. It's a long race. We're only 15 laps in. We saw 20 minutes of action earlier. 20 minutes and 43 seconds before they were stopped on pit road. We got about... This race will end after midnight. I'm glad they're doing it tonight, though. They could have been dicks and postponed it to 5 o'clock tomorrow when the next round of weather is going to come barreling through there because it's clear all day tomorrow. And earlier, when it looked like they were going to postpone it, I was like, I know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to postpone it to 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock tomorrow, right when more bad weather's moving in, because it's going to be clear all damn day tomorrow till that point. Not ready for NASCAR after dark. This is the forbidden NASCAR, the late night rain delay NASCAR. Oh, they're back.
In 1959, they came to this speedway, and there's the photo finish of the first.
Show the photo finish of 2016.
Patty's Oldsmobile 42 was the winner. Here is the Harley Earl Trophy.
The rain-soaked Harley J. Earl Trophy.
A miniature of this big one that he's going to have. May need help hoisting by the time this is over. Hey, you never forget your first time, right?
Well, the first time I was in Daytona, Dad and I, we decided to come down here and tackle Speed Weeks. Brought the modified down, never forget it. They bought him a brand new dually. We come down here, the thing blew up halfway. He was so mad. We got down here, borrowed somebody's truck, got our rig down, and we had to hopscotch trailers back and forth to work on them at the motel every night. It was miserable, but we had a ton of fun.
Cars are crying. I hear engines.
Tour of Daytona. Somehow, some way, led to all this.
Lift that damn red flag. Let's go.
To the legend himself.
Gorbachev, lift that red flag.
Certainly is. I mean, I remember the first time driving by this track. I was racing also.
Yeah, I remember watching it. You know what sucked about the 2019 Southern 500? It was a great race, but I'd been up for a long time, and that rain delay kind of came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, shit, because I was dog-ass tired. I'd been up a full 24 hours, and then it dawned on me that I'm going to be watching this race till after 1 in the morning, and I'm fucking spent. I was out of it that day, but I watched the whole damn thing.
I've never driven wide open around any racetrack before, so I get out there, go up through the gears, and I keep pushing the throttle down, pushing the throttle down, pushing the throttle down. I was like, I'm feeling pretty good.
2 of my Hendrick guys are unscathed, Larson and Elliott. I think Byron's going to be able to keep going, though. It depends on what work they can do to that left rear. I know Byron looks like he got hit hard because he almost flipped over, but it was just the left rear quarter panel, really.
Air temperature down 12, and the track temperature, the racing surface, down 14.
Maybe next year the Daytona 500 should start at 12:30, 1 o'clock. What do you think?
I'll tell you that, but main thing is you're going to have more grit. You know, possibly something like that on a back straightaway doesn't happen now. Probably not, but it can work into that equation.
And when you say that, more grip, right? We heard Joey Logano say sometimes after a rain delay.
And the yellow flag is out. Thank you. God, we're back. Officially.
If it has more grip,
Now they go to work on the cars already.
So the red flag has been lifted, and now work begins in earnest. Here they go to get these cars back out on track to at least make a lap or two and have a chance to get back
Or
up to
run the damn
their
race.
speed of 170 miles per hour.
And they had all that time to plan it out. Their strategy, exactly how they're going to fix this car in a timely fashion. This is impressive.
but I love some of the tools that these guys use to cut that sheet metal off. And you got to do it in a hurry.
It sounds like the Undertaker's hip surgery on pit road right now.
In the pit road.
Did you guys watch the last ride on the WWE Network? When they were drilling into his hip? God. I've been sitting on my ass all day.
Teams are already into the 4-minute mark as far as the clock running.
Well, you put Michael McDowell in Bubba's car, he'd win. Thank you, Bob
Because
Levine.
that clock started when they came onto pit road under caution before the red flag waved. Of course, the red flag stopped the clock, but
Driving Bob Levine's car sucked so bad it made Casey Kane retire even after he got offered a better ride.
as far as the damaged vehicle policy.
Larry, is that NASCAR? Do they send a clock down to these teams to be able to monitor?
See, look at William Byron's. If they can just get that deck lid down and put something over that left
I think
rear.
They have the same data I'm looking at. Jeff, they should have the same data. It comes directly from NASCAR. And again, I'm sitting here looking at it, and now a lot of it is crept well over.
Martin Truex's is real beat up, but that thing will run.
In fact, we're seeing where the 12-car Ryan Blaney, his 6 minutes has expired as well as Chris.
Was anybody surprised to see Ryan Newman in another bad crash on a super speedway? He's like a magnet for that shit. Seriously. I think Ryan Newman got the worst of that wreck, other than poor Ryan Blaney, who dodged the wreck perfectly and got his car tore up by missing it and touching the grass.
Yeah, he's paying an express. Here's Jamie Mackey's trying to get back in. You continue until they tell you you can stop now. Push it to the garage.
How's Jamie McMurray's car? I'd like to see a good look at Jamie Mack's car.
Just idling.
It's building.
Getting ready to go again.
He's getting nervous about that clock.
That 8 car's not going to run.
I bet he reset the wheel. A lot of times you'll get the toe knocked off, and how you had that wheel set when you started after a big wreck, the way that thing looks like it's been in, I guarantee you had to reset the wheel.
Look at all the grass and shit from under Truex's car. The Wizard of Sod.
County on that thing. Going down the backstretch grass. Wow.
Bubba's 12th, Denny's 15th. Pit road's open for the lead lap cars.
Pretty happy on Monday.
First pit stops of the day, if you remember.
Vince.
Austin Dillon was extremely pleased with his car and the little bit of experience he had with it, but they're going to come in just to be sure and put on 4 tires. They're not going to make any changes. Crew Chief Justin Alexander pointed out these conditions very similar to what they had in the duel.
If I'm Austin Dillon, I'm very excited about this race being at night now. Because like I said, very similar conditions to the duel.
That race car, and we see Bubba Wallace continuing to work on the left rear of that race car. Jamie.
Kevin Harvick, the leader, they told him the box is a little bit wet. They put 4 tires on there.
God, them pit boxes look really wet.
It can push, it can be pushed.
Chase Elliott.
Up front. Nice stop by the 90.
First car on 4 tires. Christopher Bell and Kyle Busch take the lead 1-2 with no tires. From third on back, it's 4 tires all around. So Bell, Busch, Elliott, Kevin Harvick, and Austin Dillon are the top 5.
The 17 and Matt DiBenedetto and Anthony Alfredo. They have exceeded the time allotted to repair those cars and get them back on the racetrack per NASCAR's damaged vehicle policy. This was
Busher and Alfredo are out.
to keep drivers from getting back in the race with a car that was badly damaged and might have more parts come off.
Actually, what it does is make them throw a car back out there that hasn't been worked on enough and cause a damn debris caution or something.
Also just keeps the flow of the race going, and really it protects the driver also. Doesn't let them get back out on the racetrack in an unsafe vehicle.
Regan?
Correct, that was a big issue for a lot of cars. It was actually good for the 23 car Bubba Wallace. We saw in the very first caution of the event, he got damage to the left rear. This gave his team an opportunity to make a plan to fix that more perfectly.
If you go through the grass, yeah, you're done. It's like that shouldn't be a problem. It's like I should be able to, like, spin through the grass and be okay to avoid a wreck, you know? Look at that modified Tyler Reddick's driving. Is that Mike Stefanik or Tyler Reddick?
5 minutes and 46 seconds of that 6-minute clock. So he got what he's got. He's got to get that 8 car up to speed the way you see it right there. But again,
Look at the toe of that right front. Hey, that thing will turn left real good. Look at it.
Repair it, but they have to get up to speed before they can.
They did a nice job on William Byron's car. Look at that. That's nice.
7 championship points because
I'm worried about that rear part falling off, but I don't think they'd mind that. You just wouldn't be able to get a bump draft from anybody.
Chase Briscoe makes a stop. He did not.
A lot of big names were riding in the back. Cindric, Hamlin, Wallace, Keselowski, Cole Custer. All were not anywhere near that wreck as they were out back. Casgralla was way in the back.
Kevin was really excited about his.
Corey LaJoie's going to have another shot at a great Daytona 500 finish. He's running up front
He's shown that he's been up front
in the 7 car.
but I'd love for him to be forced to be
Corey got a top 5 here
Yeah,
last year.
Some of these cars in that onboard with Kevin Harvick also, that rear window is so humid down here. All the rain, those cars sat on pit road. These some of the windows are completely fogged up.
Yeah, and once you get going, they usually clear up. Yeah, I remember being down here, same situation.
There's a Tyler Reddick's and a straight up modified.
You're starting to freak out a little bit. Man, I hope that thing, if it doesn't, clear up, I'm in trouble. I can't see out of this thing. But once you get some airflow, and they do.
Now, Denny Hamlin, the defending champion of the 500, will restart 13th.
Oh, Dennis of Hamilton still got a shot at 3 in a row.
Throughout the pandemic, and today's special, we're now meeting
Like that paint scheme.
is a nod to those helping to distribute vaccines across the country, helping us all get to next. Out of the fog and into the smog, Jamie.
Yeah, that's interesting. You mentioned that about the.
And it's good that the race is still on Fox. They didn't bump this race to FS1, although that would have been good for my stream, wouldn't it? Oh, go ahead, bump it to FS1. People will pile in here. We got to watch The Masked Dancer or whatever the fuck. What's supposed to be on? Where's my keyboard? What's supposed to be on right now? Oh, Bob's Burgers and Family. Okay, we can do without those.
It makes you nervous.
Usually right now you are watching Plant World.
Here in the drive.
But we were able to talk Plant World into switching with Cooking World, although they didn't want to change it first. But fortunately, White Supremacy World was canceled and all the trades worked out. And yeah, I thought they'd postpone it as well. It really looked like they were heading that way earlier.
Today, featuring more than 3,000 signatures submitted by Advent Health employees. A heartfelt thank you to
And then Rick Ware Racing Cars loved that wreck earlier, didn't they? Oh, they're going to get a good payday. Top 30. Top 30 finish for Rick Ware Racing Cars. Position by attrition. You know they were happy as fuck. They were happier than a pig in shit to see that big wreck earlier.
Never ending.
McMurray is 2 laps down due to damage, being, I think, stuck in the mud out there.
You can see,
26th.
and you saw in that shot we had just a minute ago, that front splitter's pushed up quite a bit, so that's going to hurt the speed and the front downforce in that car a lot.
Still a little bit of
Good news is Derek Cope's out of the race.
in the tri-oval area as we roll under caution with 19 of 200 laps complete.
Weepers underneath the outside wall. Uh-oh, my TV remote's not working again.
About it. question. Does camouflage actually work?
Oh man, that Bush Beer commercial.
Let's see.
I think my TV remote finally completely died. Oh, no, it's back. It's back. I gotta get some of them super duper ultra Duracell long last. What the fuck are these batteries? These are cheapo batteries I'm working with right here. Hit the button. Oh yeah, these are just the batteries that came with the fucking remote when I bought the TV back in October, November, whenever it was. I would like to point out once again, Derek Cope on lap 3 on the 20th anniversary of the death of Dale Earnhardt drove off into turn 3 and blew a tire and hit the wall. Right where Dale Earnhardt lost his tire in the 1990 Daytona 500 and Derek Cope passed him and won. I'm telling you. Dale Earnhardt from the beyond said, you know what, Derek Cope, I'm finally going to get your ass. That was not a coincidence, people. Well, you know what they say, Fox Sports, it's noon somewhere. 20th anniversary of Earnhardt's death, lap 3, while they're honoring Earnhardt, Cope goes off into turn 3 and loses a tire right where Earnhardt did in 1990. That's not a coincidence. I feel like I'm watching WandaVision. It's a hex. Dale Earnhardt has a bubble over Daytona International Speedway, and he just manipulates the race how he wants it. That's why he made it so hard on Junior for so many years. I'm assuming Kaz Gralla and BJ Mcleod are going to pit with the one to go before the green. That's why they're scored as 1 and 2 right now. And Christopher Bell will be the leader, followed by Kyle Busch. Guys, I had the chance to watch that Days of Thunder documentary for the 3rd time this week during that rain delay. I had it on in the background once again while I was playing something. I was like, man, this Days of Thunder documentary is really good now that I've seen it 3 times. Throwback race at Darlington, I'll be there. Now that I see that commercial, I'm like, yay, I'm going to be there. If Jeff Gordon's there, he better have that mustache and that haircut. Hey, there was one of Bob Levine's cars getting torn up in that commercial. Why did Kyle Busch and Joe Logano both get to miss that wreck earlier? Daytona Road Course next Sunday at 3 o'clock, but at least they have lights and they'll race in the rain, so I'll forgive that a little bit. 3 o'clock.
Without normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19.
Still riding around under caution. We can race now, you know. I'd like to race now.
Fitness equipment for the boys and girls clubs of Volusia and Flagler counties to celebrate the Daytona.
Going green this lap, really?
And help provide active programming for their members.
So Gralla and BJ Mcleod just stayed out and they're going to have the lead here. I thought they were going to pit with the one to go.
That dude's ready, isn't he? Huh?
Especially McLeod. I figure he'd get the hell out of the way.
Got his seat all fixed up.
Hanging with the head. To dirt, boys.
That's
Cup on dirt at Bristol, 42 days.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of racing, mud racing today.
Some of those cars.
42 days till we intentionally race in the dirt. At Bristol, Tennessee. Yeah, this was lap 14.
Look at the dirt fly off that car.
Look at it just digging it up.
Which won't be happening.
Please tell me this is the one to go.
A lot of changes in the Fox side of the schedule. We'll go dirt
Nope,
racing.
still not the one to go. They've just sped up the caution pace to try to build heat in the racetrack.
And we're going road racing 7 times, including some brand new races.
I bet you only go road racing 6 times, so I can tell you Sonoma will not happen.
Practice and qualifying beginning here at Daytona. The All-Star race.
All-Star moves to Texas. I bet you're all excited about that, aren't you?
And there's where we're going to go play in the dirt at the end of March.
We need to go get us some laps and something around that dirt track.
I got a late model 2-seater. I think you and I ought to go up there and argue about where we're going to run on that racetrack.
And I'm going to open my window. It's hot in here.
Sounds like a plan to
Yeah,
me.
Derek Cope won the Daytona 500, and didn't he win Bristol in 1990? It was either Bristol or Dover.
Caution laps are a benefit to drivers like Tyler Reddick with a badly damaged race car, trying to get as many laps as he can, as long as they will allow him to be out there at limited speed.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Gotta go look at cats.
It's TV time, too.
Speaking of which, our race leaders, Kaz Gralla and BJ Mcleod, came in a lap before everybody else. And so they are at the front of the field. Gralla started last, made the race on time, and then was one of around 10 cars that had to start at the back.
It's gonna get cold in here really fast, but I was starting to feel stuffy.
Everybody who would have been ahead of you that had to start
Dover, right. I knew it was Dover or Bristol. Something that's concrete. Even though Dover was not concrete back then. And I wish it wasn't now. I wish Bristol wasn't concrete now.
He is our IBM driver profile. He's in his second season in the Cup Series and moved up to Joe Gibbs Racing in a Toyota this year. 16 career wins in the Xfinity Series that usually runs on Saturdays on these double weekends.
You can see his back glass still isn't. The folks said, look, I can't hardly see out of it.
There's no way you can see out of that. You know, when I see that graphic of Christopher Bell, his second season, I feel like this kid's been around forever. All the dirt racing, all his name I've been hearing for years. Xfinity, all the wins that he had in Xfinity, it's hard to believe he's only in his second year here in the Cup Series.
Well, about the only names we heard this winter in Victory Lane were Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson on the dirt. All over the
Here at a dirt track, you're going to hear their name.
I want to see a video. I've seen pictures and read the step-by-step process of how they convert Bristol into a dirt track, but I want to watch a video of it. I hope they documented it. I'm sure they did. Because you can't just go dump a bunch of dirt on a racetrack and go, look, it's a dirt track now. There was like a multi-step process there.
And how much he meant to the sport. It's all next week on NASCAR. Weeknight 6 p.m. Eastern, only on FS1.
Kyle Busch was the 2019 champion and had at best a lap.
Can we start this goddamn race back, or are we just going to ride around under caution all night?
Only one win. It was late in the season. And then in the off-season, got a new crew chief.
Hey, my phone's fully charged. We're ready to roll here.
The 18 crew fired me. He wanted some changes on the crew. He and Adam Stevens disagreed, and things changed. Stevens and most of that group went elsewhere, and Ben Bayshore is the new crew chief.
Seems like 2 days ago we were talking about this on the pre-race show, Jeff, but I had him up at the ranch and, did an interview with him.
I heard they put so much dirt at Bristol, it actually raised the banking of the flat part of the racetrack almost up to the level of the actual racing surface.
You're going to see a lot of Kyle Busch this year.
Busch Clash winner here on Tuesday night. 57 wins in the Cup Series. Now right behind him,
Please, for the love of God, tell me this is about to be the one to go. Let's do this,
Chase
dude.
Elliott.
Fucking bored.
Coming
Just
off of
wasting
this
laps, just
great
wasting
season
fucking laps.
in which he had to race his way into the championship four and then win that final race in Phoenix to secure his first Cup Series
We
championship.
basically had to go win at Martinsville to get to the final race
Right.
at Phoenix. He did that, gets to Phoenix.
Might as well go
When
win.
Chase had that flat tire at Texas last fall, I thought his championship hopes were over.
Great, just an incredible final couple of races for this team. And I think Chase Elliott, he has grown as a not just a competitor, but his confidence is sky high. And I think they're going to be a major threat. This
Better
year.
thing to document is how the fuck do they get the dirt out of Bristol? How do you get the dirt off the track and turn it back into a normal track again?
The two cars up front.
That'd be another interesting process I'd like to watch.
He pitted for fuel only on lap 5. He has not pitted. BJ Mcleod, the 78 car, is running second. He's under penalty right now. He pitted before pit road was open, so when they set the lineup, he will have to go.
Well, can we set the damn lineup? Oh, I love that artist rendering of BJ McLeod. He looks like Danny McBride with a haircut.
Right now,
Yeah. Big sharp looking race car.
I cannot believe we're looking at a dry racetrack. I really can't.
I can't believe we're not racing on a
Just all those storm systems suddenly
dry racetrack.
broke up around the land and never made their way here to
Hold
Daytona
on.
Beach. Thank
You
goodness.
undersold it, Mike. And there is a lot of water standing down there in the infield grass area. It poured rain this afternoon.
Oh, it did.
If I had a nickel for every time one of us was looking at our apps on our phones and watching the weather, trying to predict it, going, nope, we're done, we're done.
Let's
and then,
face
wait a minute, we got a chance, we're done.
Tell the truth, we already filmed. We taped a segment of getting off the air thinking, no chance. Jeff and I are up here going, no chance. Just tape it. Let's get out of here.
We did. It said, see you tomorrow. And, you know, we gave the time and said,
Put it out in the trash.
Mike Joy, Clint Boyer, and Jeff Gordon actually recorded the postponement message earlier
Back.
just in case the race got delayed.
Skies opened up, cleared up, and here we are.
got about 7 or 8 cars coming in to top off fuel.
I'm guessing this is the one to go then if all these guys are topping off.
Get them to the end of stage one.
And you can get to the end of stage 1 from here.
The fuel window now, so just build that.
Harvick actually gave up some track position to come in here and top off. No, it's still not the one to go. They're still riding around.
Jet dryers.
Can you start this fucking race back? This is really irritating. There is no way that shit's not dry enough to race on. Please tell me I'm not the only guy. Twitter, help me out. I want to see other people annoyed that we're just riding around under caution all damn night. Now we're going to commercials, so that means we're going to ride around under caution some more.
As we get ready to return from that red flag.
Nope. We're just going to ride under caution all damn night. Yeah, let's just run the next 80 laps under caution to get past halfway and give Casgralla the fucking trophy and get home. Get everybody out of there. Oh, wait, they got a race there next week, so never mind. It's like, Jesus, dude. Nobody else is going to complain about this but me. We're just going to ride under caution for forever. Yeah. This is how I feel. This is what we're doing right now. That's why we're just going to watch this GIF until the race actually begins again. We're just going to ride under caution all night. That's what we're going to do. These motherfuckers raced over gravel at full speed in the 2012 Daytona 500 from where the track had been caught on fire. As much heat as is in that racetrack and as much as they dried it, they can handle a little bit of moisture that's left. Fucking go. Drop the goddamn green. Let's fucking go. We're just wasting everyone's time here. Let's just jack off some more and ride around under caution a while longer. Logano heard his crew chief say pit when he was told the pits are closed, so he pitted and I asked to drop to the That's no big deal. There's only like 20 cars left. Yeah, at this rate, we're in for a long night because if they're just going to ride around like this, we're definitely in for a fucking long night. Hey, there was when Sasha Banks waved the green flag. I like Sasha Banks.
KFC.
Call me Sasha Banks.
Earlier this afternoon, WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks waved the green flag to start the race. Here's Michael Cole with a preview of what's
I don't need to hear Michael Cole's voice anymore. The only time I want to hear Michael Cole's voice is when I'm watching one of them old SmackDowns on the network I've been watching. And I worked so much this week, I haven't even watched WrestleMania 2000. That's my next show to watch because I've been watching WWE from the year 2000. I've made it to WrestleMania, but I haven't had time to watch it. I'll probably watch it tomorrow. My grandpa likes to watch it, so I'm waiting on him to watch. I'll watch some Raws and SmackDowns without him, but whenever I watch a pay-per-view, I'm always like, hey, you want to come watch this? So I'm waiting till tomorrow now. I was going to watch it after the fucking Daytona 500 today.
to try to go the distance. distance of 65
But
laps, stage
obviously Mother Nature had other plans. They're making sure under the yellow line is dry for... Yeah, that's where Denny spends most of his time racing. I think we're finally going green. They're doubled up. The lights are off on the pace car. We're on lap 29. Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Ryan Preece, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Cole Custer are up front. So, yeah, we're going green this time. We had more cars come in and top off. Cooler temps, more grip. Yeah. Better make sure that apron's dry so Denny Hamlin can make his race-winning pass, just like he did at Talladega in the fall. Good call, Jeff. Silly me. Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss. Oh, my God. Doom, now you're talking. Now you're speaking my language. Alexa Bliss. Big fan over here. Big fan of Alexa Bliss. From day one, sir.
Then the Fords of Custer and Cindric, Hamlin's Toyota, Harvick and Keselowski in Ford.
Some women look so good you question whether or not they're actually real people and not robots. She's one of them. Okay, coming to lap 30. Where's Marty Reed? I feel much better with Marty Reed calling this. It's the Gecko restart zone. Who's going to be the next idiot to call? Look at Quinn Houff running 11th. Quinn Houff's got a chance to win the Daytona 500. Green flag. Thank you, Jesus. If you ever existed. 2 Hendrick cars on the bottom, Elliott and Larson. Feels good to say Larson in a Hendrick car. With Stenhouse behind him. Stenhouse to Chevrolet is what Joey Logano is to Ford when it comes to these alliances. Everybody take it easy and let's just get to the end of stage 1, at least. Austin Dillon pulls ahead with Ryan Preece, who, Ryan Preece, by the way, does not have a full-time ride. They don't have funding yet for the full season for Ryan Preece. They're trying to find a sponsor or something, but as of now, Preece is not going to get to run the whole season unless they find some funding. 30 laps complete. See, Martin Truex still running back there. Jamie McMurray still running.
Big shot to the 9. Preece went way high. He's going to get shuffled out.
3 wide. Preece all the way on the outside by himself. William Byron still running back there, and that car looks good from this angle. I know there's damage on the left rear, but look at that car going down the back. That thing is square up and looks fine. Given the right circumstances, William Byron can still win this race. The right push, the right drafting partners. Cole Custer leads lap 31. And they're trying to train up on the outside. There are going to be 2 trains here. You can run 2 wide with 2 trains. Ooh, and Custer goes wide in 2, and Hamlin's going to shoot to the lead. Bringing Brad Keselowski and Bubba Wallace with him. We're right back to racing just how they were before the delay.
This man dropped to the back, 1 wreck, change of events. He's competing to lead this race. And Cole Custer's going all the way towards the back.
Austin Dillon and Denny Hamlin door to door for the lead.
Dillon on the inside, Hamlin.
4 Chevrolets on the bottom. A mixture of everybody on the top. Denny Hamlin got a huge lead going into turn 1 there. Field's going to swap up here. He should just hold his line. Pick a line and stay in it.
Kyle Busch lined up 16th for that restart.
Every time they go to an onboard camera, I wait for a wreck to happen, because earlier when that big wreck happened, we were looking out of the back of somebody's onboard camera because we saw Tyler Reddick start slamming on the brakes, and then there was a big wreck. Halfway through stage 1, it's only taken us 7 hours. Hamlin, Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, and Kyle Busch.
Did he do a great job, him and his teammate, of controlling that block, moving down, moving up.
Don't be nervous, it's early.
Keeping him in front.
I wouldn't be nervous. You're out front right now. I want to be the first car at the head of a line. And Hamlin's the first car. He's out front. His line has the momentum right now. They've got about 5, 6 cars now ahead of the next closest one on the inside. Hamlin and Keselowski are experts at this. Oh, William Byron's car's falling apart. That's going to bring out a caution, ain't it? That's debris everywhere. A big chunk of the back of the 24 car just flew off.
Yeah, that was actually the finish.
And I see sparks coming out of somebody ahead of William Byron.
Was it just that rear fascia? Was it that it's made out of a different...
Remember when I said that 24 car looked good? I lied. The right front of that splitter looks way up off the ground, so forget everything I fucking said.
It looks like it's still hanging on there because you cannot run
boy.
per the NASCAR rule.
I was optimistic about that 24, but it's going to bring out a caution. It's dropping shit everywhere. Thanks to NASCAR's damage repair vehicle policy, we're dropping shards of metal all over the racetrack. You know, just so it can cut Hamlin's tire and have a wreck in front of the whole field, right? I'd be nervous right now with all that metal flying off that 24 car, so Robert, I'm with you. I'd be very nervous right now. I think they need to throw a caution and just take a look. I'm looking at the track right now more than I am. The cars are all single file against the outside wall. I'm looking for pieces of debris. 30 laps to go in stage 1. We got a black flag for the 24. I don't see any debris, but there was definitely shit flying off that car. This is bullshit. Where's my 8-wide racing? I don't like snake racing. This is snake racing.
We need to ride. Right there. I like where you're at.
Those two guys at the front are masters at this. Keselowski and Hamlin. They're just going to chill. Kyle Busch as well. Hopefully Bubba takes a cue from his car owner. Just fucking stay in line. It's all good. Get you some stage points and start the year off right. You got bonus points for finishing second in the duel Thursday. Get you some stage points here. It's not too early to start thinking about playoffs. I think the 23 is going to be a fringe playoff contender between like 10th and 15th in points. Never too early to start thinking about points.
He doesn't have to worry about that clock anymore.
So William Byron's going to get to finish the race, but they just got to go ahead and tear that rear bumper off.
24 cars are on the lead lap. Back to the 78 of B.J. Mcleod. McMurray and Reddick are 2 laps down. Byron 3 laps. Truex and Kurt Busch 4 laps back in 29th position. 11 cars are 36 laps complete.
Hey, at least they get to go back to the hotel and watch the race on TV.
Right here and go Toyota all out.
It's not Fox side by side, it's Toyota all out. I'm going to mute this because it's a commercial. Just watching Denny Hamlin snake his way around Daytona. I think the prospect of Hamlin winning 3 in a row is actually pretty exciting. Oh, big wreck in the back. Chase, well, not a big wreck. Quinn Half, Chase Briscoe go around. Quinn Half hit the outside wall pretty hard. Caution's out.
Third time at lap 38.
Briscoe and Quinn Half.
I just looked up naturally and was looking where the 14 was. He was
And Quinn Half is still going to be running, so Briscoe's car looks fine.
Now those cars were on the lead lap.
Yeah, Briscoe's car is good. He just spun.
looked like Chase has got too much
damage.
Yeah. He'll be all right. Put fresh tires on it.
He's rolling slow, Clint.
He's rolling slow so the damn tire doesn't go flat and shred the fender, Jeff. Come on, Jeff. That's why Briscoe's going slow.
Nurture that left front tire from coming apart, tearing up the front fender.
Well, as you can see here, I have no idea what happened.
A little bit more. They're already spun right there.
And Quinn Half's getting the worst of it.
Clearly, contact.
I'd be willing to bet he caused it.
These two guys that got him collected and went for a heck of
Well, that ruins Denny Hamlin's single file train of dreams.
Down on Quinn Half's car.
He definitely was in.
Okay, yeah, Quinn Half's getting out. Yay! One more shit box out of the race, along with Derek Cope.
I don't know. It's something here. The tire blew because I ran over something when I threw it off.
Oh, look, Quinn Half says he ran over debris and cut a tire. My God. See what I mean? NASCAR, your damaged fucking vehicle policy. You nearly took out Chase Briscoe because Quinn Half hit a chunk of the 24 car and it cut a tire down. I was saying they should throw a caution for that, but they didn't.
Something
But now we have our caution.
sparks. There was metal support structure, and that's like
See how stupid that is?
cut that tire down.
Oh, their damaged vehicle policy is so good. It's as if he had more time to fix that car, it wouldn't have been like that.
And BJ Mcleod run over it as well. Another piece.
Foolish. Foolishness. Nearly cost Chase Briscoe a shot at the Daytona 500.
Your left rear tire goes down. You're along for the ride at that point, and somewhere within that, Chase Briscoe was just an innocent victim.
You saw Quinn Houff climbing into the ambulance to take the mandatory ride.
Yeah, that caution really needed to happen about 5 laps earlier when all that shit. Ah, there you go. The right front's tore off of Briscoe's car now.
Trying so hard
Gotta be very careful to
Yep, way to go, NASCAR.
lap down, and you know what happens.
You wanted to ride around under caution for 15 laps, but then you won't throw a caution for a legitimate problem.
a lot of damage there. Such a tough thing to weigh out there. You're right, Jeff. Can't go a lap down, and you know the spot of the crew chief's in his ear telling him, man, make sure you stay in the lead lap. It's so important. But this early in the game, it's probably a lot better than
Gotta patch up that right front.
on the front of that car.
Third caution flag in the Daytona 500. This one for Quinn Houff.
Ed Soundhead. Thank goodness the repair clock keeps dangerous and disruptive cars from racing, and he posted a picture of William Byron driving around with the rear bumper falling off. You guys see how much it's snowing in Texas today? Texas Motor Speedway is covered in snow. Their Twitter account took a picture earlier. BRB, well, we'll be right here all damn night, apparently. Let's take a look at the weather forecast one last time. Well, I say one last time. Just to get an idea of what we're looking at here. Just based on the hourly, not the radar, just the hourly predictions. Nice, cool 65 degrees in Daytona. It's a lovely day. Not bad, 20 to 30. Yeah, we're going to get this race in. Looks good to me, folks. Keep on digging, and hopefully any car that has as much damage as William Byron has won't get out there and drop a bunch of shit all over the racetrack. Yeah, that damaged vehicle policy really does its job. NASCAR threw bullshit debris cautions for a decade after Casey Kane wrecked out of the lead at Dover in 2004, but now they won't throw a damn caution for an actual fucking problem. Depending on what mood they're in. That's going to get somebody hurt one day. Brock Beard just said, all the debris cautions for years, and NASCAR lets that one go. Houff and Briscoe shouldn't have paid the price they just did. Yeah, he's right. Silly. Fucking unnecessary. They've torn up enough damn right. I would err on the side of safety because they've tore up enough cars already today. 9:45 p.m. 15 minutes till the hour. You're listening to WHBKR. Long-time listener, first-time caller. What do you want to talk about? Oh, thank God I don't have to work tomorrow.
On Fox, brought to you by NASCAR's premier partners. 40 laps complete, working the third caution of the race. Denny Hamlin has been out in front.
I feel like I'm watching the 2012 Daytona 500, don't you? That's what this reminds me of. It doesn't remind me so much of 2014. It reminds me of the 2012 500 for some reason.
Your screen, with now 22 cars on the lead lap. Quinn Houff joins the 11 cars out of the race from the first and second caution flags.
Still putting work in on that 24. Got a brand new bumper on it and a lot of tape. Put some bear bond over it. And some WD-40. More work on the 19 of Truex. At least his shit wasn't dropping everywhere.
Martin Truex 4 laps down, using this caution flag to pit. Jamie McMurray 1 lap down. He's whistling around.
Jamie McMurray gets the free pass. He's only 1 lap down. He'll cause some dumb shit if you let him get back up in the front. I wouldn't want that 77 anywhere near the front.
Still in it, Jamie Mack. Keep it going.
Going green next Tom with 23 to go in stage 1. Hamlin, Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, Joe Logano, Ryan Preece.
There's our Fox visor cam. And thank you, Bubba Wallace, for wearing that for us. The digital dash, all part of the electronic engine management system. Big wide mirror there.
Oh, yeah, you want to see anything and everything that might be coming to your outside, inside. You see that side mirror.
Interesting to see the orange line in it. What is that, Jeff?
Well, I know that's something that Denny puts into his left side mirror, so I feel confident that Bubba's adopted that too. And it just gives you an idea of depth perception of that car that's behind you. Maybe they're creeping up to your left rear, and you know when they cross above that line that they're at the plane of your rear bumper.
I've noticed he's only got 2, Jeff. When I was side by side with you, you had, what,
10.
And the lights are back on the pace car. We are not going green.
So that little round mirror
I was like, where's Boyd?
kept there to the inside of the car, unlike the mirror on your passenger car.
And that back straightaway at Daytona is so impressive to look at from a long shot, like coming out of turn 2 with the camera looking down the back. That is so cool.
Of the car that might be in your blind spot, don't you just want to know, is he there or is he not there?
Well, you're very limited too what NASCAR will allow you to do there as far as the size of the mirror and what you can see. It's not like you can just put a big mirror and hang it out the left side window like on your street car.
And as things progress, years went by, that gap in between that window net keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter, which creates a different side mirror for everybody.
Well, and a lot of it, Clint, is safety. Look right here at Chase Elliott's car. You can see that opening, as you mentioned, is very small, and that's to prevent any debris, tire, anything from coming.
Yeah, I don't know.
into that
I got to
side
find out
window.
what Austin Cindric's Cup schedule is. He's only doing a handful of races. But I hope he does every fucking road course. I'd do every road course plus the Daytona 500 and the Coke 600. That's what I would run.
I mean, come on, the gas is free, right?
Yeah, I mean, what thing if you're saving fuel, even if you know you're going to pit at the end of stage 1, the more fuel you can
Chase
save,
Briscoe should
the
still
least
be
amount you
okay.
have to dump in it, Mike. Plus, it also
It's just a
cools
real
the car
dumb
back down
inconvenience he had to
when
deal
you
with that right front damage.
I was going to say, and at the end of this thing, if you need it, it's priceless.
Right.
That was like hitting a piece of debris in NASCAR 2005 on the GameCube. If you turn cautions off, the debris will still fucking cut your tire down. Happened to me leading a race at Dover one time. I'm still not over it.
A clear shield at night. I don't know if they even thought about that. But I saw there's something on the top of his helmet. I'm trying to figure out what that is.
He ran that shield in the duels. Noticed the same thing, and it caught me off guard. Everybody's eyes are different. Everybody's sensitive to different things. You always never know what somebody's going to. Obviously, Denny's got a clear one, but I do agree. I have no idea what that white thing is on the top of his helmet. Definitely different.
And there's a lot of different helmet manufacturers.
Everybody left running tonight. It's almost guaranteed a halfway decent finish with 11 cars already out of the race. Well, 12 cars now because Quinn House behind the wall.
Where that hose comes in, that puts a little fresh, cool air. It's not air conditioning necessarily, but it just gives you something to keep you a little cooler and fresher inside that helmet.
Plenty of big wreck material still out there. We're talking Ross Chastain, Ricky Stenhouse, Joe Logano, Bubba Wallace, Michael McDowell, Ryan Preece, who is a wreck magnet, Austin Dillon, who will kill you to win a Daytona 500, as he showed before. Green flag, 22 to go in stage 1. Hamlin chooses to restart in front of his teammate Kyle Busch. Bubba aggressively pushing Keselowski to 1. Bubba wants to get up in front of Hamlin and be the front Toyota. That's what he wants. He's going to push Brad out front and try to clear up in front of Hamlin if he can. breaks off of Keselowski. So Bubba won't be able to get up in front of Hamlin just yet. Oh, Logano got Bubba squirrely down the back. Bubba shoots to the middle. Joey Logano goes with Bubba through the middle and hangs out Brad Keselowski. Now Keselowski's stuck on the bottom with almost no help. Wow. Okay, now he settles in. I was surprised to see Logano duck around Keselowski there to follow Bubba. Very surprising.
You take note of what just went on there with Bubba Wallace. You thought you might have a drafting partner and a friend. Not at all. Not that time.
Logano's looking to go to the middle and get around Bubba. He poked his nose out there. He's got Keselowski behind him now. Now that Logano's got Keselowski behind him, oh yeah, he'll expect them to work together. He put Brad in a bad spot just so he could get in front. My teammates work together.
Here's the visor cam. We see it from the best angle you could possibly ask for.
Denny Hamlin's going to run this whole thing again, leading the race. Does anybody have anything for Denny Hamlin? 20 to go in stage 1. Bubba on the inside with really no help. Now he ducks up in line, and then Logano shoots to his inside, side draft, pulling back with help from Kevin Harvick. And now Logano slides up in line in front of Bubba Wallace. Interesting battle there for 8th. Both pulled the same move on each other.
The defending Xfinity Series champion coming to Daytona and winning the season opener.
And it was a great race yesterday. I was fortunate enough to call it with Tony Stewart.
He must feel like you've been in the booth for 24 hours.
I said fortunate enough. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. We really had fun.
Stage 1, otherwise known as the final test session for the Daytona 500. Can you believe Tyler Reddick's still out there running? I just now noticed Tyler Reddick's hanging on to the draft and running pretty well. Laps down, yes, but I mean he's running with some other cars.
So he was doing double duty this weekend in the pit crew, by the way. They're the ones that went to victory lane last night, so they're double dipping, having a great time in their
Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Priest, Cindric, Austin Dillon, the top 5. As the train forms once again. I trust Denny Hamlin leading this race so much. The guys I would want leading this race are Denny Hamlin or Brad Keselowski or Kevin Harvick, because they're just going to get up there and everybody's going to follow them. And we're not going to tear anything up unnecessarily, for the most part. As debris flies off a car, NASCAR just decides to see what happens, like they did a few minutes ago.
Make sure that's the car they started this race with, but that Xfinity race might be the best practice session you could possibly have. Here's the 22, Joey Logano getting into the rear bumper of Cole Custer.
Custer, after the speed week he's had, he's just happy to still be running. Can Kyle Busch finally win the Daytona 500? He's getting dangerously close to 20 years of trying territory. DFS, what's up? Good to see Ryan Priest in the top 5. Okay, Toyota all out again. Time for me to hit the mute button because it's a commercial. It's a commercial, but they're still showing the race, so I'm muting it. As long as my TV remote allows me to do so. Or are they? Okay.
These guys prevailed, running first and second now, leading this train.
It's a snake. We're not going to call it a train anymore. It's a snake. Snake racing. All 5 Toyotas are still running, and 4 of them are at full strength. That big wreck earlier, I think, really benefits them. Especially he took out some heavy hitter Fords like Blaney, Newman, and Almirola. A couple of strong Hendrick cars got fucked in that wreck. So I'd say advantage Toyota in this race.
Some personnel and equipment, but they are in 7th place right now.
You got a Rick Ware racing car in the top half of the field. Enjoy it. Soak it in.
6 straight super speedway races. We continue with Toyota All Out. The world broadcast premiere of Toyota Racing's The Dream with Bubba Wallace. Here's a look.
So now they're going to show the commercial? Okay, I'm muting it because it's a commercial. I hope Bubba has a successful career to validate this attention. I really do. Excuse me. All this attention's going to happen to him at no fault of his own. But I hope he can validate the attention on the track sooner or later. So people can't say shit, you know what I mean? I like that paint scheme that's in that commercial, though. That's cooler than the DoorDash car. His merch looks so... Have you seen the 23XI merchandise for the team? Looks so cool. They got some good paint schemes this year. If he wins the Daytona 500, I'm buying the damn shirt. If somebody I really, really love wins this race tonight, I'm buying the shirt. Elliott, Larson, or Bubba, primarily. Those would be the three guys I'd buy the Daytona 500 champion shirt for. Larson, Bubba, or Chase Elliott, or William Byron. But
Look at third place there, Ryan Preece. Now, a lot's been made of Michael Jordan's entry into racing. He is the second NBA superstar in NASCAR team ownership. Cleveland Cavaliers All-Star center Brad Doherty is the
North Carolina Tar Heels.
Ryan Preece's third place running car.
There's 23 cars and all that merch looks really nice. They're going to sell a lot of it, too.
What else do Doherty and Jordan have in common? They're both lifelong race fans since childhood. Vince.
Michael Jordan was talking about going to Rockingham and shit, and I'm like, oh, bro, Rockingham. You're an OG, Michael Jordan.
Did not have a guaranteed spot into the 500. In fact, Doherty has talked about the fact they don't have the funding to run the entire series.
Yeah, I don't want Bubba to crumble under the pressure that he puts on himself. He's under a lot of pressure anyway, but god damn. The fact that he said, oh, if we don't win multiple races this year, it's a failure. I'm like, dude, calm down. You guys are a brand new team. I know you're driving good shit. You're driving TRD engines and Gibbs chassis and all that shit, but you're a brand new team, and you're talking about, oh, we think we can win multiple races, and if we don't, we're going to be disappointed. It's like, you're a new team. I'd try to win one first. I'd be like, you know what, I think we can win a race this year. And after that, the sky's the limit. I wouldn't be like, no, we got to win several races or more. It's a brand new team, dude. But we know they're driving good shit. Well, Chase Elliott's car doesn't seem to have a lot of oomph to it. He hasn't looked impressive at all this week. Wasn't even good in qualifying, which is unusual. There's Tyler Reddick still out there riding around. He's still faster than Derek Cope was.
Before they get to the end of this stage.
He pulled up alongside Joey Logano, and he's still coming by himself on the inside. Picked up two, got alongside Cole Custer in the 41. Gives a little of that back.
Yeah, but what he's really trying to do is get some others to come with him. You know, he's in a position where he's not going to...
Joe Logano can't have a lot of friends out here. I wouldn't push him either, because he wouldn't do the same for me. He wouldn't follow me. He wouldn't push me. He only wants to get in the line if he's going to be at the head of it.
They will work their way forward.
Let's jump up to fifth place where Austin Dillon...
I said Bubba is going to be somewhere between 10th and 15th in points fighting for a playoff spot. Might win a race. Until they win a race and prove they can do it, it's hard for me to, like, flat out pick him to win. Although I picked him to win here because he's got a great opportunity to win here. I can't wait to see how Bubba runs at Martinsville. He's finally in a legitimate car, and Bubba is really good at Martinsville. That would be one I'd have circled on the calendar. Best chance for a non-super speedway win for Bubba would be Martinsville.
We saw this play out during the duel. Jeff, the 3-car has been sitting back there running about 50% drop.
Coming to 9 laps to go in stage 1.
Stuck back there in the middle of all those cars.
And you could hear him say, the 5 car, I haven't heard a lot about Kyle Larson today, quietly just hovering around 5th, 6th spot. And Austin Dillon feels like he's got somebody that's going to work with him when he makes that move. And
Kyle Larson laying low, isn't he? They haven't really talked about him much this week. They had like a pre-race segment about him, but they really ain't talked about him. That's Chase Elliott back there. Just stay in line, bro. Not enough help anyway, and I don't think Chase has that great of a car.
I think a lot of history here for Rick Hendrick and making this move to bring Kyle Larson back to the Cup Series. And that number 5 was their original number that Rick Hendrick started his organization with.
Yeah, back when he was All-Star Racing and Jeff Bodine won their first race on a day.
Martin Truex getting lapped again.
Today, we're going to have to shut it down. They scored, and well, the rest is history.
At least Truex is still out there running.
Kyle Larson 6th. As we close down on the end of stage number 1.
First car 1 lap down is still Jamie McMurray. We're 8 laps away from a caution, so if he can stay ahead of Briscoe, he'll get back on the lead lap.
Nobody wants to ride line further back.
The guys who don't like to ride in line are the ones constantly jumping out. Stenhouse, Logano, Elliott. It's not out of character for the Michael McDowell. He's another one. Looking foggy up high, isn't it? Please, God, don't let a fog set in over this racetrack. Because if the spotters can't see the fucking backstretch, they'll stop the damn race again.
And Mike, we heard on the radio with Austin Dillon, they're going to...
Daytona and Talladega seem to just have it out for certain drivers, and Martin Truex is one of them. He hasn't been good on a super speedway since he drove for Chance 2 and Xfinity. God, my back hurts in this damn chair. The first car to jump out and make a move for the stage win will be Austin Dillon. How much you want to bet? He'll be the first car out of that front, that top 5 or so.
Duo at the front. Hamlin and Busch. Priest in a Chevy, Cindric in a Ford, Dillon and Larson in Chevrolets.
6 to go in stage 1. We're making it.
Into this race, but when he went into the duel, he raced his way in. He was
Chase Elliott further back once again, goes to the bottom.
On the last corner, it makes some pretty aggressive moves to get himself a couple extra positions.
Chase Elliott's going nowhere, and he's got a long time to get there. Damn, he's really slow. God, that looked like really slow for a second. I thought Chase had a problem. Looks like the ARCA race right now.
Christopher Bell just ahead in that yellow and black car.
Woohoo!
Chase Elliott went to side drive.
Hey, at least running single file like that, you're not going to cause a big wreck. That was air. He didn't even touch Bell. He was just side drafting him. Boy, I'd stay away from Christopher Bell. That car is evil today. Can't bump draft, can't side draft. Yeah, that was all air.
Just a matter of time, Mike. The way Denny Hamlin runs on these super speedways, especially here at Daytona.
5 to go. In stage 1, no move yet.
Remember, it's only stage 1. Let's not kill each other for stage points.
You're going to run wide open. There's no lifting, no saving any throttle. And you saw that yellow marker. That's actually where the steering wheel is at.
Here comes a Ford Alliance. Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Cole Custer drop to the inside. Is Joe Logano going to go with him? No, Custer pulls back in line, so Harvick and Keselowski are stuck. Nope. Come on, Fords, go do it. Follow Harvick. What do you got to lose? You're that far back. They're all lined up with each other about 8 cars back. They can make this happen. Harvick, Keselowski, Custer, and Logano.
I don't think Cindric will, but I think the 3 of Austin Dillon, the 5 of Kyle Larson.
I said Austin Dillon. If you're going 1, 2, if you're looking at the top 5, Austin Dillon will be the first one to pull out. Further back, they're all just going to occasionally peek out, drop down, see if anybody goes with them. There you go. 4 Fords drop to the inside.
Taking 3 more Fords
and they will stay there now. Or will now? Fucking Logano pulls. Logano. Oh, Logano doesn't want to be a part of any line he's not the leader of, so of course he pulled back in line. Stenhouse turned him sideways down the back. I wish he would have hooked him. Would have been a single car wreck any damn way.
Pushing Logano, trying to close that gap up. These guys get locked down on the inside.
With 2 laps to go in the stage, pit road will
2 to go, stage 1. Not making any progress back there with those Fords. Still single file against the outside wall. The top 10 is as you see on the leaderboard.
As early as we thought they were.
Ryan Priest, the 37, said on the radio, I'm not pulling out with 3 to go. If I'm pulling out, it's going to be on the last lap. He said with 8 to go.
A couple of drivers in this race that I wish their fathers had pulled out, but that's another story. We are coming to 1 to go, and Hamlin is moving to the middle of the racetrack, anticipating a run from somebody back there that never happened. Look how slightly lower Hamlin and Kyle Busch are running here. Final lap of the stage. Uh-oh, there's going to be a wreck right here. There's going to be a wreck with that push. Oh, God. And Priest pulls to the bottom. They hang out Cindric. Austin Dillon goes to the bottom. Hamlin and Kyle Busch cover. Now the entire running order of this race is flipped. And now Priest to the outside of Kyle Busch. With help from Austin Dillon, Priest is to second. I don't think he's going to get the lead here. But he gained a spot. And wow, Kyle Busch is dropping like a rock. He's dead in the middle with no draft help. It's Hamlin, Priest, Dillon, and Larson on the high side. Coming to the line. Joey Logano just about got blocked to the infield by Bubba Wallace. The end of stage 1. Hamlin takes it. I thought Bubba was done right there because Logano pulled out to make a move and Bubba ran him all the way down to the yellow line. I thought Logano was just going to hook him. But they don't. Denny Hamlin wins stage 1. I thought there was going to be a wreck. There was a point where Stenhouse was on the bottom by himself and Keselowski was steaming from about 5 car lengths back right to him. I said, there's going to be a wreck right here. And then I thought Bubba and Logano were going to wreck coming to the green and white checkered there. Well, that was Bubba almost wrecking himself. He threw the block. He threw a very Logano-esque block. And I was like, here we go. But Logano cut him a break. Logano actually lifted and stayed behind him. Logano could have went down below the yellow line and possibly got him to black flag Bubba because it looked like he forced him right down there. But Logano backed off. Joe Logano did something smart for once, and Hamlin wins the stage. Ryan Priest second, Austin Dillon third, Kyle Larson fourth, Austin Cindric fifth. We got 2 Austins and 2 Chases in this race. Not enough Dales in NASCAR anymore. That used to be the popular name. Two open cars running in the front. Priest and Cindric had to make this race the hard way. But the Rick Ware cars were locked in. And Derek Cope was locked in. We're going to be up all damn night. It's a party. I'm getting thirsty. It just shows you how quick, we get lulled into a false sense of security when they train against the outside wall and form the snake. But, boy, one car jumps out of line at the right time and somebody goes, then another guy blocks somebody else, and next thing you know, the whole running order's flipped upside down and there's cars everywhere jockeying for position. That's how fast the lineup change. I'd like to go back and see when they come to 1 to go, what was the running order compared to when they crossed the line to end the stage.
Cameras wearing lights and with the tools of their trade at hand.
Here they come to pit road. Dennis of Hamilton leads them down. Good for Priest having a good race. That's a hard luck team right there where they have 3 straight last place finishes at one point last year. For a full-time team, that's horrid. Christopher Bell, his car's too loose on entry. No shit. I noticed that when it got sideways because somebody put air on you. So Denny Hamlin's going to keep the lead here, followed by Christopher Bell, Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric, and Kyle Larson. Everybody took 4 tires. And Kyle Busch gains 5 spots on pit road. He got shuffled out big time. No stage points for little Kyle. Back in a moment. Taking a stage break piss.
I don't know what I'm more impressed of, to be honest with you. The fact that you pulled out a line, didn't like what you saw, went to the back, avoided that big wreck, or the fact that you're now leading the stage and leading this race. Pretty impressive.
Well, honestly, the reception's really bad, but I'm on the back stretch and didn't really hear you, but I'm sure super entertaining. Our FedEx camera has been pretty good. I mean, I've liked it all week. We're definitely fortunate, to kind of, play strategy right there with the fuel to get in the track position and we were able to get to the front. But overall, I mean, I like this view a lot better than sit back and wait. But we'll just see how the rest of the race plays out.
Well, man, it was entertaining. I was actually praising you, the fact that you knew to pull out a line. We always talk about how's Denny Hamlin get to the end of this thing. Pulled out a line, avoided that big wreck, and now you're in the lead. So keep up the good work.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Denny Hamlin, Daytona 500 defending champion, and now stage 1 winner.
I'm back.
You know, I mean, the thing is, people like...
Bladder has been empty. They say when they left, I didn't really hear. I was in the next room. I had my TV turned up. I could hear them talking a little bit, but I didn't quite hear what they said. So how hard is it, do you think, for Matt Kenseth to restrain himself for making fun of Haley Deegan for being a COVID denier on that live stream? If I was knowing Kenseth, he'd probably throw some kind of backhanded, half-assed joke out about it. Matt Kenseth, the funniest guy in NASCAR, but nobody knows it. So if I'm Bubba, stay with Denny Hamlin, because that car's going places. All that shuffling and moving around, and nobody got to Hamlin. Because they were trying. He had a teammate with, like, Kyle Busch wasn't really trying to pass him. He had one teammate with him, but still, everybody was trying. They still couldn't get to him, though. Wherever the 11 car go, wherever the 11 and 18 go, Bubba, just follow their fucking lead, dude. Don't try to win this race at the halfway mark or try to win the stages. Just stay with them. Keep making moves like Bubba made at the end of get in trouble. He would have been right through the grass and that splitter would have torn off the car. If Denny's, no, he's not the best driver at Daytona ever. I know 2 that are better than him, but sweeping both stages and winning the race, that would be a nice cherry on the top, but until he wins about 34 races at Daytona. We all know Dale Earnhardt was the best at Daytona just because he won anything and everything there so fucking frequently. Dale Jr. is a close second. If Tony Stewart had just won one Daytona 500, I would have Tony up there. I've got him pretty high on my Daytona list anyway, but obviously it's Earnhardt Jr., Earnhardt, Hamlin, and Tony Stewart. I don't know. Hamlin's getting there, though. I would actually put Hamlin ahead of Kenseth at this point. If we're talking Daytona drivers.
We try to answer the question, how is Kyle Busch in second place with a lap to go in the stage and end up out of the top 10? Well, here's off turn 2.
He's trying to be a good teammate and follow Denny Hamlin, but Ryan Preece had something else in mind. He gets to the outside because he had that push from Austin Dillon. So now the 18's dropping that big spoiler.
Everybody goes around Kyle Busch here.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. takes him 3 wide.
Yeah, obviously didn't have any help down there whatsoever. And the minutes the help did come, spitting 3 wide and Ricky Stenhouse going under him.
There's that moment where the 3-car
Lap 69.
Look how hard they're pushing. Look at 5-car getting the push. Now you saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He goes low and he gets on the yellow line with his left sides, but he did not go below the yellow line.
You can have your left sides on that yellow line. If your left sides go below, you're in trouble. Kyle Busch, did you hear him? He wants to know why do they suck so bad at plate racing. It's not plates anymore, Kyle.
On these engines at Daytona and Talladega, some drivers, especially when they're upset, still call these plate races.
Every now and then,
They're plate races.
Jeff, you've been doing this a long time. I don't see anything he did wrong right there.
No, but you
Things
just
materialized differently than when he was at.
Well, you're going to learn something while you're up here, Boyer, and that's Kyle Busch.
Going green next time. Don't know why we couldn't have went green there, but
and that's how he blows off his steam.
I would have Denny ahead of Kenseth at this point. Denny's verging on Earnhardt territory. For real. How many? He's won like 2 clashes, qualifying races. Actually, I think he's won 3 clashes, hasn't he? 3 Daytona 500s, going for 4, 3 in a row now.
Conferred with my colleague, Dr. Pelletiti Rara, and of course, dense air.
What the fuck? Larry McReynolds.
As it moves through the air, it slows it down because it has to push aside more molecules. Air resistance is called drag.
Larry, that sounds like a lot of hot air to me.
Well, there's that thick, heavy, dense.
It's a crisp night in Daytona Beach.
If they figure out how to make that thing fast, they're in big trouble. It's already at the lead.
But definitely dense air will make it feel draggier. And all kidding aside, it will make it feel like it's slower.
And you know what else will? When you're out front. Because you're the one pushing all that dense air.
He gets one of them cars pushing on him pretty hard. He'll feel like he's going pretty fast, especially
Oh,
when
yeah.
he gets to pushing that maybe gets to doing that old hospital.
I got an Earnhardt bias, but I do have the numbers to back it up.
Gets your attention at a track like this.
So Denny Hamlin will be the control car on this restart. As the leader, he elects the outside lane. Hamlin's crew chief, Chris Gabehart, is 2 for 2. He's never lost a Daytona 500.
You're a Kenseth can. No, I know you meant fan.
It's unreal. Why did I bet against him?
Not over yet, man. We got a long way to go. By the way, we're going to stage 2, boys.
Stage 2. Sound the air horns.
Here they come to the Geico restart zone.
Oh boy, the Geico restart zone. It's Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric. Hamlin slides down in front of his teammate Christopher Bell, who I would be nervous about getting a push from. He's seen a lot of action today, that Christopher Bell. You got to look at the 3 Penske Fords out there. Cindric, Logano, and Keselowski. How soon does Logano try to put Cindric in a bad spot so he can lead the Ford line? How soon? Boy, that's a powerful push on that outside from those Fords. Cindric out front takes the lead.
Some lessons in drafting is going to come from Joey Logano.
Straight up 2-car tandem. Logano's a little dangerously close to that left rear for my liking. I'd like him to be pushing him on the right rear more than the left rear, but they make it anyway. Cindric's going to lead this lap. Hamlin with a big run back on the bottom draws even with Logano for second. Logano dips down to get a little side draft on Hamlin and pull back up to Cindric. Austin Dillon's crew chief and spotter think that this race isn't going to finish. They think it's going to get too foggy to see. Great! Just what I want to hear. Oh boy. This is going to be the dumbest Daytona 500 in history, isn't it?
Huge ride for him, huge opportunity, his first Daytona 500, and I'll be darned if he isn't leading this thing.
What Clint's talking about
I'll be
is the
darned.
theory that these cars create a rising round column of warm air that keeps rain and storms and fog away. It's been debunked by scientists, but we believe the vortex theory works when it does.
This hot air, all right. He was a hell of a salesman, I can tell you that.
Well, there's some rising from the booth as well.
Hamlin back out front.
Kenny Hamlin back to the front. With
Inside line with a strong push. Austin Dillon jumps out of line to go to the outside. Brings Kyle Larson with him. Hamlin with a 3-car length lead over his 2 teammates.
Now we got 3 Toyotas.
This is how that big wreck happened earlier. Kyle Busch shoving Christopher Bell, and they shoved him right up to Hamlin there. I was hoping for a repeat. I'm kidding. Hamlin, stay on the bottom. Just stay on the bottom. Let him have it. Let him have it. Oh, Hamlin moves up to block Austin Dillon.
Just squeezed up in front of the 3 of Austin Dillon. Right there could have been an opportunity.
Austin had a heck of a run. I was unsure about that block. Oh, and the Fords are going to put Larson on the outside. Cindric, Logano, Keselowski get underneath Larson. He's 3 wide going to the back. Austin Dillon trying to hang on to Denny Hamlin's rear. And now Christopher Bell is the leader with Kyle Busch, and they're going to be able to jump up in front of Hamlin. Getting racy out there. Yeah, there you go. Bell and Busch move up in front of Hamlin.
Time for the next Busch interview question in partnership with Netflix's The Crew. If you join
It's starting to get real foggy, guys. If it's looking foggy on the camera from there, it's got to be getting bad on the spotter stand. Looks like it's just at certain parts of the racetrack.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, we saw that.
Fucking fog.
$50,000 on the line. It's an extra job. You're going out and help him out. I can help him out with a pit stop.
The train is rolling. Single file on the outside, but it's Bell and Kyle Busch leading. Well, I hope if the fog gets bad, it gets bad before halfway. Because I want to see a full 500 miles. I don't want to see a fog-shortened Daytona 5. God, I'm so fucking mad that we got to worry about this shit. Why does the biggest race in NASCAR have to be in Florida? How come we can't time travel back like 70 years ago and build this track in a better fucking climate?
Listen, he gets frustrated and he says a lot of things on the radio, but it never stops him.
We're on Fog Watch. Fog Watch 2021.
Short wing. Flames up, flames out. Right back to that.
25 laps to halfway, in case you were wondering.
Here's one of the questions in Clint's Stage 2 contest on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Hope you made your pick.
I did, and I don't think I picked that.
Remember when they said this was going to be the best season ever? A fog-shortened Daytona 500 is not the way I want to start the, quote, best season ever. Show me these wide camera shots more, please, so I can see how this looks. It's like patches of fog right now. They don't need spotters if they'll all just run single file. Just run single file against the outside wall until the fog goes away. And we'll be fine. Or don't be a bitch. Win Daytona without a spotter like Hamlin almost did one year. Hamlin finished second in 2014 with no spotter help. Trash on the grill of Christopher Bell. I still want to call him Eric Jones, but it's Christopher Bell.
Air on the nose, debris on the nose for the 20 of Christopher Bell.
Oh, that's not good.
A lot on a lead car like this. They're the first ones at it. Vacuum sweeper.
Regan?
Well, we heard that audio from Kyle Busch just now. He also said that he was way happier with that 20 car up front. Felt like they were faster, and his car was able to work just a little bit better with that 20 car than the teammate of Denny Hamlin in the 11 behind him. So keep an eye on that as this race progresses along.
Didn't the same thing happen to Christopher Bell in his dual race Thursday night?
Yeah, you're absolutely right with the debris on the nose. And you know, right now he's got clean air to the nose. As long as he keeps an eye on the temperatures, it's fine. And it actually might help reduce some of the drag, even though that debris kind of has some shape to it. But as long as the temperatures are fine, he's good. Before that temperature starts,
Keeping an eye on the lap count, seeing how we get to halfway.
Try to knock that debris off.
These close camera shots are very encouraging because it's not going to look foggy up close.
2 of the 63rd Daytona 500. Let's go Fox side by side.
Side by side. Hey, my TV remote's still working. While they're single file, I'm going to check Twitter. Check in with the weather dudes and the people at the racetrack and see what they're saying about the fog, because I've only heard it mentioned on the broadcast by Austin Dillon's team. Jarrett Lundberg, oh my God, he just posted a picture from the stands. He said, can barely see turn 3 and 4. It's getting bad. And looking at this picture, yeah, you can't see shit over there. Oh, God. How about we start them at noon from now on? Still single file against the outside wall. I was just checking the fog situation. It does not look promising. Turn the lights up brighter if it gets foggy. We're 20 laps from halfway.
Them damn cheating Toyotas up at the front. That ain't fair. They wouldn't be leading that race if they weren't helping each other.
Oh, can I show the picture from Lundberg from the Iceberg's Twitter account? Yes, I will. Mr. Iceberg. Legit can barely see him through turns 3 and 4. This is the picture he posted. That's what it looks like from where he's sitting. And that was 6 minutes ago. Please don't let it get any worse than that. Can we catch a break? We're not in 2020 anymore. It's 2021. It's time to begin anew.
2 laps complete in the Daytona 500. The Toyotas of Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin on point. The Chevy of Austin Dillon fourth. The Ford Mustang.
Chris Buescher won Pocono because of fog a couple of years ago. 2016 Pocono got rained out, put on Monday. Then a storm was coming, but before the storm got there, fog rolled in. You couldn't see the entire back half of the racetrack. Spotters couldn't see anything. So they red flagged the race, and ultimately the rain was showing up, so the race ended because of fog, and Chris fucking Buescher won a cup race. Believe in the vortex.
Just taking a breather, obviously, slowing this race down because you know what's coming. But the biggest thing I look over here on the left, you can see their throttle. I'm trying to save my crew chief and my team as much fuel as I can. Doing it effectively.
You realize how much that would annoy me as a driver? I got to ride at a super speedway where we're full throttle the whole time, but somehow figure out a way to save a little gas just because the crew chief wants me to. Excuse me.
That's about it, though. That's about all you can do right here. Log laps, and make sure you get to the end.
Our Fox colleague Jamie McMurray back on the lead lap now. He's in 15th position.
Jamie McMurray, 15th on the lead lap and running with this front pack of cars. The only thing weird about his car is the left front of the splitter is a little off the ground, but McMurray is in the draft and running good pace. So Jamie Mack's not done yet.
We won't do that, folks. What's his heart rate there? 124 beats per minute.
That's pretty calm.
It was 155 earlier in the big pileup on lap 14.
Decent dream of sleeping, man.
Look through that lead pack there.
The splitter on the nose of that car.
We got Ross Chastain and Jamie McMurray.
I don't think there's a whole lot of downforce coming to the front of that car.
Ganassi still got some horses in this race.
It's been a while since he's been in the car. Got caught
Kurt
up
Busch
in
is still in the race, a
race.
couple laps down, I believe. Chase Briscoe's the first car 1 lap down.
But it's really not all that dangerous.
Excuse me.
One of our favorite little Fox featurettes is Jamie on Jamie.
Yeah, it's fun to get to do that again. I missed Jamie out on the racetrack, but just before we went green again, the team was jumping on that.
McMurray's losing touch with that front group now. There's about 14 cars that have broken away now. McMurray's losing touch with them. That splitter's really high off the ground. Have big fat guy jump up and down on that shit.
Yeah, not only does that hurt the speed of the car, but what it's doing is packing air underneath it and creating lift. It's trying to lift the nose and not plant those front
So if
tires.
McMurray spins, he's going to fly upside down in the air.
Get a little tight right now, huh, Jeff?
And I think that's why he's back.
We are about just past 15 laps to halfway.
Because he actually wants to try to get some air, and because that car's getting so tight.
What I love about what he said, here's the 2010 winner of this race. He's not just here to ride in the Daytona 500. He wants that car fixed so he can get up there.
Mike, you ever heard a race car driver use this term when they're whining?
There's about to be another car 1 lap down. One of the Rick Ware cars is about to get lapped. So that's going to hurt Chase Briscoe. Cody Ware just went a lap down. He's the free pass spot now.
22:65 complete in stage 2. We are 13 laps from halfway, at which point this race becomes official tonight. As they come off turn number 4, we'll let you know when to turn it back down. But for right now, crank it up.
You can't crank it up this late at night. You'll wake the neighbors.
Clear. One behind him. 22 pit road, to the right side. And getting over eastern water tap, please.
I'm assuming they might split this stage in half for pit stops. I can't wait to hear Kevin Harvick's interview when this race gets called early and all they did was ride single file all night. Harvick's going to be like, we waited around 7 hours to run single file and then get stopped for fog and the race is over. I got an idea. Let's set up a spotter stand on the backstretch. Let's move all the spotters to the backstretch and keep fucking racing. Have them stand on those billboards up there. Bring back the Budweiser party porch. Put them all over there. Still riding along. 10 laps to halfway. Well, I'm bored. Where's my 8-wide racing? This is bullshit. Where's my 8-wide racing? I didn't think Christopher Bell would lead this many laps when I woke up this morning. But here we are. They got to be cutting a good pace running like this, though.
91 laps complete here in Daytona. 9.5 away. And let's have a look at one of Clint's Stage 2 contest questions. Which team will win Stage 2? Well, the top one on the list is still going to lap 6.
Man, I'm sure a lot of people didn't pick Gibbs right now.
Pick Gibbs is
Boy, Eric, I almost said Eric Jones again. Christopher Bell has trash all over the front of that car. He's not Eric Jones, it's Christopher Bell. I got to pound that into my head. I had an easier time with Bowman in the 48 than I am Bell in the 20. I need to put my mind back into Xfinity Series from a couple of years ago, right?
at the end of that last stage, so once we wind down, we get to the end of this stage.
That's what it's the DeWalt paint scheme that's throwing me off.
Yeah, there's the Austin and Austin show running 4th and 5th right there. Dylan and Cindric. Use whatever tools you have at hand.
We go to commercial. And I whip out the phone and go to Twitter and try to keep you informed. It's like I'm at the racetrack when I'm looking at Twitter. That's what it feels like. That's like the only reason I ever got Twitter was specifically for NASCAR stuff. And I really get a lot of information out of it. Is Fox's NASCAR Crank It Up the TV cover for the announcers getting to go to the bathroom? Possibly. Nah, they get commercial like during. I'd imagine with stage breaks now, Clint and Jeff have plenty of time to go, take a piss in the next room. I'm just happy BJ Mcleod's still running. He's a good dude. He's like my favorite back marker because BJ Mcleod's just a lovely guy. By all accounts, nice dude. Everybody likes him. BJ Mcleod's like the Jimmy Means of this current era for me. Good dude. Shout out to Jimmy Means just up the street here in Far City, North Carolina. Good news. Spotters say the fog is improving. They can see better. That's according to Marty Snyder. Said fog is much better now for the spotters. We might be okay, guys. Don't know what the future holds, but for now they're saying it's improving and they're having an easier time. Leaderboard has not changed, so I'm assuming they're just still single file. Stayed up late for this bullshit, I tell you what. I'm so glad I'm off work tomorrow. Tomorrow's like the best day ever to be off work. The day after Daytona 500, you get to be off work. And it really helps because the race is running late tonight. Excuse me. I set up a second table here right in front of my computer. It was to put my plate of food on earlier, and it's making my streams easier. If rain comes in with 3 to go, remember Bristol in like 2015 or whatever? Was it 2015 or 16? Or was it 14? Well, it was like, it's 2014, right? No, it was 15 because Kenseth won. 2014 was Carl Edwards. God, it rains at Bristol every year, too. What are they going to do for the dirt race?
The one name of E3 that people want to
They're probably going to be fucked again.
But people don't realize you've been a big NASCAR fan for I grew up in NASCAR. My father used to pack the whole family in. We go to Darlington, we go to Rockingham, we go to Charlotte. We came down to Daytona, Talladega, and we would just go and we spend the whole day. And from that point on.
So what happens if the 23 car starts running on par with Gibbs? Is Gibbs going to try to put them out of business, too? So the fog situation's improving. 3 laps to halfway. Bell, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, Dylan, and Cindric, the top 5. Just halfway through stage 2 and just about halfway through the race.
A couple times a week to see what was going on. And we all went, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You heard it right there.
Lifelong race fan. Love it.
Well, I can tell you, yeah. He's here.
Surprised Michael Jordan didn't invest in NASCAR back in the early 2000s or late 90s when it was at its, boom period.
23-11.
Because he had the money.
It's almost surreal for me. Everybody grew up idolizing this guy, and to see him being a part of our sport, it couldn't be better.
Boy, Chase Briscoe just got totally fucked. He's going 2 laps down now because they didn't throw caution for the shards of metal coming off of William Byron's car. And it's ruined his whole race. He's 2 laps down. It's ridiculous. I feel so bad for Chase Briscoe. He got completely screwed tonight.
Take a listen to what Christopher Bell's crew chief Adam Stevens just said to the spotter to remind his driver as we get ready for potential green flag stops.
Flag stops here. We need to do the look at the DD and know where the grip is on the injury. I mean, the closer we get to the inside, the wider it's going to be. So we'll be not.
Hey, we got an inside line a little bit back there. Bubba Wallace and Kevin Harvick dropped down. I don't think they're going to go anywhere, though, except to the back. Right back to commercial, huh? God, you see Bubba get loose going 3 wide to get by Briscoe, who's a lap down on the inside line. Jesus. Caden, I mentioned earlier on my stream, I was like, nobody was happier to see that big wreck on lap 14 than the Rick Ware Racing teams because, hot damn, they're going to get decent finishes. Top 30, guaranteed, because 11 cars were out of the race. So they're happier than pigs in shit right now, I'm sure. Chase Briscoe's the guy who got screwed the most in this race, though. That's ridiculous. Stupid-ass damage repair policy and stupid-ass NASCAR and their inconsistent cautions. Or lack thereof. We are halfway through the Daytona 500, weather permitting. Yeah, Gase is running pretty good. Cody Ware was doing good. He just got lapped a little while ago. But Cody Ware was like 21st or whatever. I wish I knew how Rick Ware Racing had a charter, but the fucking 33 didn't, and Priest doesn't. The fucking charters. Ty Dillon wasn't in this race, but Derek Cope was. I've said that every day this week. Multiple times in a stream. But seriously, people, Derek Cope was in this race, but Ty Dillon wasn't. Money talks. You know, Robert, I think going to the back wouldn't be a bad idea because there's only like 20 good cars, if you think about it. But I don't know. If I'm leading, I'm going to stay in the front of that line. Hamlin's obviously he's third in line right now behind his 2 teammates. As long as they're running like they are right now, there's no reason to go to the back. Single file against the outside wall. About to pit any time now. Pit stops could be coming. Figured they'd split the stage in half. We're well past halfway in this stage.
You heard as we went to break were the crossed flags, 100 laps halfway in the Daytona 500, and per the NASCAR rules, this race will be official tonight, whether or not. Of course, we hope the entire 200 laps.
Let's just act like we're going to run the whole 200.
Of the 500 this evening. So gives Toyotas 1, 2, 3, a Richard Childress Chevy in 4th, and Penske Fords in 5th and 6th.
Come on, you know you want a Spire car to win, especially now that Corey LaJoie's driving one.
18 car made up those spots that he had lost on pit road. He gained 5 spots on pit road. And so,
looks like the Fords are coming to pit road. Cindric, Logano, and Keselowski dropped to the inside. The Penske cars and Kevin Harvick. And I'm guessing Custer's coming with them. Yep. All the Fords coming together. Even Briscoe, who's 2 laps down, comes with them.
Vince.
Joey Logano in that 22 car, they've been fairly pleased with him, but you see they're going to put tape on the front and also the ridge.
All them guys that got wrecked earlier today have got to be bitter watching this single file fucking snooze fest. It's like, oh, now you guys want to chill out.
Whose car is damaged
The two guys that caused the wreck are leading the race. Bell and Kyle Busch are first and second, and they caused that wreck. Harvick, the first of the Fords, off pit road now.
So the Ford contenders near the front of the field have made their green flag pit stop. There are 4 Toyotas.
No more pit stops this time around.
8 laps down. And the rest are
As they lap Josh Bilicki. I think that's Bilicki. I can't tell which Rick Ware car that is. I don't really give a shit because I ignore them. How the hell is Byron running? Good question. Excellent question.
I'm a little worried about these Fords, guys, because look at the line of cars. You've got, what, 10 cars lined up right now, led by Christopher Bell, maybe 8 or 9 cars, compared to 4 or 5 Fords that just came down pit road. The longer they stay,
Well, these guys got to pit
the faster they're
relatively soon. Although they can go a good ways. They don't have to pit when they originally planned to. They can stretch this and try to lap those guys and catch a yellow.
As soon as possible. You can see they're finally found each other, get to pushing on one another and get that momentum going, because this big pack is going to run them down.
So, Larry, with only 4 Toyotas, can they afford to stop by themselves, or do they need to stop with some of those?
Probably stop with the Chevrolets.
Mike, when you're out front, you have no choice. You're the one making the call up there.
All right, we should see a group this time.
Who's dropping to the inside? Bell, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, Elliott, Larson. Oh, no. Chase pulls back in line. Looked like the Chevys were going to pit with him. That's what I assumed when Elliott was jumping out of line, but no. 3 Toyotas plus Bubba, who's a few cars back. Damn, Kyle Busch had to jump out of the way and not run over Bell coming to pit road. Jeff Gordon thinks Christopher Bell was speeding. We'll see.
Was reminded to get heat in the brakes and make sure that what you saw happen there did not. A little bit free as he got on the pit road. That race car has been Busch on the right.
2 tires for Bell. 2 tires for Hamlin. And the 4 lead lap Toyotas are going to come out together, right on top of each other. Now Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, and Ryan Preece, Ricky Stenhouse. Nope, they stay out. They look like they were dropping low to come to pit road together, but they stay out another lap.
Doing that, you do have to put your foot on. You drag the
Well,
brakes.
Preece came to pit road. Was that miscommunication? Ryan Preece just pitted by himself. Uh-oh.
It doesn't even look like they're going to put any tires on. He's just going to.
Ryan Preece pitted by himself.
But when he comes out, he may have nobody to draft with.
See the Chevrolets pulling down now.
Now all the Chevys are coming. Dillon, Larson, Elliott, Chastain, Stenhouse, McMurray, Kurt Busch, who's laps down.
Stacked them up coming on the pit road. Big wreck.
Now, the variant strategy, the Fords, remember, did fuel only. All the Toyota drivers and teams did right.
There's Kyle Larson's first green flag pit stop in over a year.
Execution.
And they all get to pit road pretty smoothly. Hey, there's William Byron back there. I wonder how loose William Byron's car is right now, Jeff, with that mangled left rear. Gas only for the Chevrolets. The Toyotas all took 2. The Chevrolets go gas only. Kyle Larson comes out in front of them. Here comes that line of Fords. And the Toyotas are hooked onto it.
Here come those Fords with all their momentum built up. Chevrolets going through turns 1 and 2, entering the back straightaway.
This pack's going to be right on top of each other here. Chevys, move up. The Chevys are not really organized well yet. Larson got way out ahead. But they're going to be able to fall right in with this lead group of Fords and Toyotas. And Kevin Harvick cycles through. He's going to be the leader.
Also got some Toyotas in there. Those Chevys are going to try to stall them out. Oh, no, this is not going to work out for Denny Hamlin on the top.
Hamlin's in trouble. No, Hamlin jumps down and gets in front of his teammates. Boy, I thought Hamlin was really going to get hung out there. McMurray tried to shut the door on him.
if he was going to over.
Which would have been a smart move. I'd try to get Hamlin the fuck out of there. He's got the best car. We all know Hamlin's the biggest threat to win. Actually, Larson and Elliott are going to be out front. They've got enough speed. They're in front of this group. So good for Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. I thought Harvick was just going to fly by these guys with those Fords and be the leader. I was wrong. They have cycled through. But we got a side-by-side battle for the lead. So now is a perfect time to go to commercial. After about 50 laps of freight training on the outside, we're going to go to commercial now that they're all on top of each other, trying to position themselves to lead again. Because that's exactly what they just did. Denny Hamlin just took the lead according to the leaderboard there. I'm waiting for that leaderboard to turn yellow during the commercial because something bad's going to happen. Fox really on it with these great. Yeah, we watched 50 laps of single file and oh, they're racing. Let's go to commercial. Good call, Fox. And when they come back, they'll be all, yeah, David Land, he just said, you've got to be fucking kidding. And it's like, yep. Bubba and Harvick and Hamlin make move for the lead. Commercial. You can't wait one more lap. Oh, big wreck, big wreck, big wreck, big wreck, big wreck. Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse, and more. Uh-oh. I'm on Twitter. I just saw it. Jeff Gluck. Caution say, actually, it's not a big wreck. Okay, it was just Bell and Stenhouse. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Christopher Bell. Somehow it's only a 2-car wreck. It's the only names I'm seeing so far. And, of course, Fox missed it because they just had to go to commercial and that awesome battle for the lead was developing. Hold on, I got a cat screaming to come in my room. Hey, buddy. He's like, I want to come in. I'm going to shut my window now, boy, because it's cold. Okay, boy. Did I make you shit yourself with the big wreck comment? Because all I saw was wreck and it said Bell, Stenhouse, and more. And I said, oh, no. What a stupid-ass commercial. Like, what the fuck? You can't wait a lap or two? Because they were all jumbled up and racing each other again. You literally couldn't wait a goddamn lap or two. Casgrala gets the free pass. Not in complete lap again, but what the fuck? Fox, you fucking suck. Have they not got eyes? Do the guys producing the race not even actually pay attention and watch the goddamn thing? Fucking stupid.
And by Toyota, let's go places. Here is the lead change just prior.
Yeah, here's the lead change that we missed because they went to fucking commercial. Hamlin shot through the middle like a rocket with teammates. Kyle Larson does the smart thing, just gives them the room. Doesn't try to block that run because it was a huge run. Bubba pushing Hamlin out front. And then what happens here? Oh, wow. Kyle Busch almost turned Bubba. See, we missed all this, and now they got to spend 10 minutes recapping it for us. Fucking dumb. Christopher Bell, he's got a flat going in the corner already. Or did he get run over by Stenhouse? Oh, he had a left rear going down.
Slow leak in that left rear, and now you can really see it get on the sidewall.
Oh my God, he almost took out Bubba. That left rear went and he started spinning. He got into Stenhouse a little bit.
Had a little bit of contact with the 5 of Kyle Larson.
Jesus, man. They had to recap all this because they couldn't let us watch the damn race. Fucking clowns. I can't wait till Fox's TV contract fucking runs out. I hope somebody else gets it. CBS. We need NASCAR on CBS. We need something fucking new. I can't stand this shit anymore. This will be a good onboard because Chase Elliott barely missed this, and he got to watch the whole thing develop in front of him. He's already lifted. He's like, fuck, 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 fuck. And Chase makes it through.
Great job by Chase Elliott.
Cut to commercial soon. I swear to God. But I'm really glad we got to watch 50 straight laps of single file.
course, hearing that screeching tire.
Now they're
coming through
sawing
the
on Christopher Bell's car.
Christopher Bell had only led 18.
Oh boy, he's on the damage repair clock. That led to such good things earlier, didn't it?
He led 32 in this Daytona 500 thus far.
Here's the damage to the left rear, Kyle Larson.
He saw Ricky shoot up, but he got collected by the 20, got into his left rear a little bit. I think Kyle may have got into the outside wall as well as the right rear.
You know, Clint, when you do green flag stops like that and the fields get split up, man, it is just hairy when, you know, you're going.
We don't know. We didn't get to see anything.
Flying through
Kyle Larson scraped the wall. I think his car will be okay.
All seems to come to a head.
Quite a number of takers on pit road, even though they've just been in about 7 laps ago.
Yeah, but not many of them changed tires while they were in. There's that damage to the right side of the 5 car.
Is it time for NBC to take... Oh, God, the NBC doesn't take over till, like, the summer. Shit. We're stuck with this bullshit all fucking year.
Utilize this opportunity to make darn sure you get those fenders pulled out. No harm, no foul right now, but if you go out and cut a tire down, you could into your 500.
Christopher Bell cuts down a left rear top.
Hey, Fox, this is when you're actually kind of supposed to go to commercial, right there during the caution. There you go, you fucking idiots. So far, Fox's coverage of the Daytona 500 gets a D at best. Between the cringy-ass fucking pre-race show with all that dumb shit, plus this. Everybody's roasting these idiots. I want to know, who do we directly blame for that stupid-ass commercial? That could have waited a lap or two. All you had to do was wait another lap. But I don't come here to watch the race. I come here to watch commercials and watch cars ride around for 50 laps. That is literally the worst time commercial break I've ever fucking seen. Bring back... Put NASCAR on CBS, TNT, ESPN, fucking Playboy channel. I'll pay the subscription. Just put it on anything but fucking Fox. I'm so sick of this. Fox clearly just does not care anymore anyway. Bubba had like 2 close calls. Really close calls in that little sequence of events that we didn't get to watch. He got a bad bump from Kyle Busch and had to save it, and then going off in the corner when Bell's tire went, it damn near hit him. But he skirted on by. Fuck Fox, and whoever gets NASCAR next, hire Alan Bestwick, please. I'm filled with so much, like, bitterness right now. This alone is going to keep me up till 6 in the morning, but I'm okay because I don't have to work. I can sleep all day. Speed Channel. What? Where's the fucking GoFundMe to bring back Speed Channel? I knew we were fucked the day they were coming soon. Fox Sports 1. Like, no more Speed Channel? I was like, oh, shit, we're fucked. Because now NASCAR's really going to take a back seat. I knew that from the fucking moment they announced Fox Sports 1 was a thing 8 years ago, that we were screwed.
Have an ice cold Coke Zero Sugar and buckle up.
Fox Sports 1 was nothing but bad news.
On Fox.
Kaz Gralla could use something ice cold.
Damn, Kaz Gralla's got a fire. That car's on fire. Under the right rear, he's on fire. Please tell me that tire exploded like Paul Menard's did at Atlanta that one year.
Wheel bearing, that grease gets hot like that, man. It just melts and turns to molten steel. Can't hardly put that fire
That
out.
car's been bukkakied.
Teams tend to get aggressive with wheel bearings and stuff here, trying to reduce.
Well, I hate it for Kaz Gralla.
You know, I'm not
He's having a good run.
What's going on here, but that's quite the fire. You know, all those teams.
Hey,
that
Ozzy.
just pitted for 4
My little
tires,
kitty.
I like that move.
How you doing, big boy? You came to see your daddy? Ozzy was taking a nap in the living room. He decided it was time to come see me. because I heard him yelling at the door for me to open.
They put that fire out 3 or 4 times. An example of that you'll see, and we've covered it in this sport, some hauler's been burnt down over time on the road. It's usually a wheel bearing.
Damn brake rotor or something.
The Xfinity Series and making the move up to Cup here for the 500 with Kaz Gralla, and it looks like their day is done. The AMR safety team quickly over the wall and getting that fire extinguished. More.
All you got.
That's what it's going to bring a bottle.
Jamie?
These guys are racers. They are not done yet, Mike. They just said, hey, well, if you have enough brake, you know, we can pull a tear off and get you cleaned up.
Well,
and take you back out.
the 16's still going to run.
Larry, you tell me that.
Wow, he is really on fire.
I don't trust you anymore, Larry. I told my driver.
That's my favorite NASCAR meme of Dick Bergman going, wow, he's on fire. He probably doesn't know.
It's going to come back, by the way. That thing's not going away. You didn't fix the...
Kaz Gralla riding around it looking like a powdered donut. That car should be sponsored by Krispy Kreme. I want that race win diecast if he wins this race. Kaz Gralla's going to win, and his race win diecast is going to look like a powdered donut.
Then switch over to Fox at 2:30 Eastern for pre-race coverage and the green flag, or you can catch it all on the Fox Sports app. Chase Elliott, the winner here last summer, on the road course.
Looking forward to being back down here for that. Had a lot of fun with the Busch clash. It was a heck of a race.
Boys.
And guess what? Kaz Gralla's car's on fire again.
I don't know.
Kaz, the torch
I just
Gralla.
don't
Here
have
he
a good
comes.
feeling about this.
This is not the underglow lights from the All-Star race.
Looks like it, though.
He's going to be lucky if that thing can even get back. Oh, yeah, something major just broke.
Well, the radio works. We listened in.
Oh, boy.
Brake panel went to the floor. Fire. There's a
Fire! Help! It's on fire! Hey, you don't need brakes to run Daytona. You'll be
He's
fine.
got no brakes.
Nah, you don't need brakes. Daytona. You're wide open the whole time.
Yeah, Mike, he just said, I don't have...
We're coming to the green. 13 to go in stage 2. Fox damn near missed the restart.
He's calm as...
Hamlin, Harvick, Logano, Cindric, Kyle Busch, Priest, Bubba Wallace.
Without him, 83 to go.
And they just drove through the remnants of Kaz Gralla's powdered donuts. Hamlin retakes the lead. He's outnumbered for the moment, though. And Logano is not going to sit there and let Denny Hamlin lead this race. You know that.
We'll be back with our Fox News fire coverage after this.
Big push in that outside line. Harvick and Cindric look really unstable there for a second. We have an unlikely duo on the inside. Kyle Busch just shoved Joey Logano to the lead for the time being.
Right on the back bumper of Joey Logano going
Well, and he knows Joey's a veteran, but Joey likes it when you're aggressively pushing him. So watch.
Ooh, oh yeah, put Hamlin in the middle. There you go. Harvick and Cindric did the right thing there. You've got to get a car like Hamlin the fuck out of there. Although Bubba, loyal to the boss, goes to the middle. So I don't think Hamlin's getting hung out. Now it's Cindric who's hung out.
When you are racing with a guy like Joey Logano and you've seen some
Harvick's a smart guy.
you know that you can get away
That was a
with
chess
anything
move to try to get Denny Hamlin hung out.
because Joey
Lose
likes
that track position. He'd be back anyway. We know how good he is here, but I admire Kevin Harvick's move there. And he moves up to block Hamlin.
Things materialize.
Jesus Christ. You block a run like that, you make me nervous. Because I could just tell Bubba was up his ass. And Bubba Logano's there. Let him in. Bubba was trying to block Logano again in the center of the corner, but he thought better of it.
Also, Clay, venture move right there by Kevin Harvick. He knew that the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
And Jeff Gordon's telling you what I just told you. He was trying to get Hamlin the fuck out of there.
This run, though. And there they go.
And Hamlin and Bubba shoot to the inside of Kevin Harvick, and Brad Keselowski follows.
From the 23rd.
Hamlin and Bubba out front now. Hamlin and Bubba running 1-2. Oh my God. Denny Hamlin's going to block like Dale Earnhardt in 2001 late in this race, isn't he? So what happens when Hamlin pulls an 0-1 Dale and helps Bubba win the race? Hopefully Hamlin will at least survive. Penske car tandem on the inside. This time it's Keselowski.
There will be a caution at the end of the stage.
And what I'm seeing here, Mike, there might be another one.
Might be.
Hard racing now. Good thing we're actually getting to see it.
How many cautions in stage 2?
Nah, they'll probably squeeze in another commercial within 10 to go in the stage.
That's going to be so much fun to do each and every week. Follow along with our
Every time that little Caesars flashes at the top of the screen, I think a caution's coming out. It's not yellow, but it's like orange, so it's close enough. Maybe change that so I don't keep going, ooh, what happened? Cass Grala's out of the car.
You just kept on trucking even though you were still on fire. What led to that in your mind?
Tough break.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure what the
Still
issue
Hamlin
is.
and Bubba, 1-2
We
up
made
front.
some contact there in that last crash. We blended up out of pit lane and just had to stay with the draft to hold on to the lucky dog position, which we did, and we were in the lucky dog position, so we were in good shape for the rest of the race, just taking it easy. They wrecked ahead. I'm not sure what that.
Can't hear a word you just said, son. Sorry about your luck, though.
Really unfortunate end to our day. Our Hyperized Chevy was really fast. Colleague Racing did a great job. We were calling a good conservative race. We were in position there probably to just ride it out and put ourselves in a spot to get a top 10 at the end. And I absolutely think we would have. So really disappointing end. I'm not really sure why, but we'll get to the bottom of it here.
Thanks, Cass. Mike?
Well, wait till he sees the video. Cass Grala will wind up 20.
No powdered donut race win die cast.
His first. Watch Kyle Busch in the 18.
You see Kyle Larson cut Kyle Busch the biggest break here. I noticed that when it happened. I said, yeah, Larson cut him a fucking break, didn't he? Kyle Busch is really bad at judging when he's clear, isn't he? He's always sucked at that. How many times did he wreck himself at Bristol, clearing himself in front of somebody and then blaming it on the guy behind him? And then last year at Darlington, kills Chase Elliott because, oh, I'm clear. God, Bubba. Stay with Denny, whatever you do. Push all you want, but just stay with him. Wouldn't be surprised if we hear Denny tell the 23 to chill out on the bumping and the push, okay? We got him covered. Hamlin's going to have to beat his own car to win the 500. What do you think Hamlin's going to do? I think if Hamlin is behind Bubba late in the race, he'll stay with him. That's what I think. Other way around, though, Bubba will wreck Denny Hamlin to win the race. But if Hamlin's behind Bubba, he'll stay with him, I think. No matter what. Hamlin would give up this race for Bubba to win, I guarantee it. I almost guarantee Denny Hamlin would give up this race for Bubba to win. As long as Bubba's already in front of him. 6 to go in stage 2. Hey, guess what? They're single file again. I can't bitch because when Dale Jr. used to pull this, I was always like, ha, y'all fuckers are bored. My guy's leading the race and he's going to dominate this shit and win it. Coming to 5 to go in the stage. Denny's full of shit. He's not going to take a win from his own car. He's the kind of guy that's not going to do that. Bubba would kill Denny on the other hand. Not on purpose, mind you, but he would. Denny would not nearly be as rough on Bubba as Bubba will be on him if it comes down to them two for the win. I could tell by Denny's entire demeanor this weekend when talking about the 23 car told me everything I need to know. Denny's going to try to stay out front and win the race himself, but if he gets behind Bubba late, he ain't going to win the race.
5 laps to go in the 63rd Daytona 500. Denny Hamlin trying to do what no driver has ever
4 to
done.
go, stage 2.
His 3rd Daytona 500 in a row. He is your Toyota top performer.
Joey Gate's going to win.
75 to go. Bubba Wallace in 2nd. Kyle Busch in 10th.
He's got just as good a chance as anybody else.
In 19th. And Martin Truex 8 laps back in 25th.
In stage 1, we heard Ryan Preece say he didn't want to make that move from that 3rd place position until the last lap. It'd be interesting to see with the experience in Kevin Harvick
20th right now.
if he'll back these guys up and try to make a move a little bit sooner and when that move will come. Or if that's where it will come from.
100%.
Oh.
Oh, somebody record Clint Boyer doing that. You guys hear Boyer? Oh.
And in that, it's nice to have your teammate back there and have that communication, but then you've got to rely on the guy behind him, Kyle Busch, to come along for the ride. And I don't know if Kyle Busch is going to do that, so it's going to be fun to watch these two guys try to orchestrate this. But I think there's several in this line that are thinking about doing the same thing as you mentioned, Kevin Harvick.
You led me into it. Situational awareness. That's Brad Keselowski knowing who he's got behind him and knowing more than likely if he can create momentum and a run, a guy like Kyle Busch has no choice but to go with him, and Kyle Larson right behind him.
Coming to 2 to go in stage 2. We missed literally the entire 2 laps of actual racing they've done in stage 2. Although, somebody's going to make a move for a stage win. I know it. They did in the first stage. They'll do it now. Hamlin was the leader then, and Hamlin's the leader now.
Remember what happened to the fellow who was second at the end of stage 1? He ended up 13th in the stage.
Watch for somebody to be dragging back, whether it's Brad Keselowski. I can see him pulling back a little.
Oh, yeah, Brad's going to make a run here. He's in 8th place, and he just reared back to Logano. Going to try to suck up to the 37. Here he goes to the inside. Michael McDowell pulls down to cover. McDowell, Keselowski, Logano, Kyle Busch, and Kyle Larson, and they're going to get to the front. So much so that Bubba Wallace moves down to pick him up. And Bubba's going to pass his car on her here. He will. Bubba leads the lap. 1 to go on the stage. This is where Bubba gets wrecked, guys. This is where Bubba gets wrecked, right? Blocking these forwards, especially an idiot like Michael McDowell. Hamlin is going to do all he can to get to that quarter panel with 34 and just drag him back, but Brad's giving the 34 such a push. Bubba, just let him go. Bubba, just, if they get to your inside, just let him go. Never mind. Joey Logano pulls out a line and killed their fucking run, so Bubba's safe. Bubba's safe for now. Him and Hamlin are door-to-door for the lead. 3 wide behind him. Where's the push coming from? I like that outside with Harvick off of 4 here. Bubba just run the yellow line. Denny Hamlin's going to win stage 2. Harvick second. Bubba Wallace third. My God. Thank God they made it. Denny Hamlin sweeps the stages. I'm trying to drive the car for Bubba and not block some idiot like Michael McDowell. See, all that racing and Denny Hamlin still comes out on top. Bubba's just practicing that race winning move, boys. Sir Dennis of Hamilton. Ham Sandwich sweeps the stages. I think Michael McDowell. Did you notice Joey Logano once again sold out all the forwards to try to get to the front of them and lead them? Because Joey wants to be the guy leading the forwards. He don't want to fucking push a forward. He wants to be the forward getting pushed. Let's start races at 3 o'clock where it rains all the time, and let's cut to commercial when they've been single file for 50 laps and actually start racing. And Jarrett Lundberg said it's very windy right now and it's kind of cold. He says he's happy he at least doesn't get stuck with those shitty Fox commercial breaks. Kyle Larson's been told by his team the car looks good, and he says it feels good. Because Larson got shoved towards the wall during that Stenhouse-Christopher Bell mix-up. The Great American Wait. That's what all of stage 2 was. The Great American Wait. Good news is we found the source of the fog. It was Kaz Grala the whole time. This guy said during the single file freight train he was trying to find a pattern for the colors in the seats because, you know, they got the multicolored seats in the grandstands. And he said, unfortunately, I've not been able to find the pattern because I see green seat, blue seat, red seat, yellow, white, and then it's just random. We're back. Sorry. Pit road, 69 to go. Very nice.
Heading to pit road, a little disappointed. He was hoping to team up with Austin Dillon and have a little better run to the end of that stage. Dillon said it was more his fault. Just right side tires for the 3, Regan.
Bubba Wallace very calm and collected in that race car and very happy with how it was handled at the end of that stage, even with all the battling that he was doing.
We still got a ways to go, and I'm already getting nervous. Nervous for Bubba. Austin Dillon is the leader. First car off pit road. 2 tires for Dillon, 2 tires for Hamlin, 2 for McDowell, 4 for Kevin Harvick and everyone else.
Hamlin, McDowell picks up 4 spots, as did Dillon, with 2 tire change. How close was it at the end of stage 2? Let's have a look here.
Style up that number 4 car, Kevin Harvick. Hey, Kevin, this is Jeff up at the Fox Sports booth. You got us? Well, man,
Somebody needs to drive the 69. You're absolutely right.
At the end of stage 2, the way you guys are racing, pretty wild. Walk us through that move and then maybe set that up for the end of the race. How do you time that maybe a little bit sooner to be able to win the Daytona 500?
I think the pushes will be a little bit harder, a little bit sooner. Chase was, you know, giving a good push, but really...
Tell you one thing, them blocks are going to be even more aggressive. You've seen the guys be pretty restrained tonight. They'll block, but to a point. We've seen Bubba, Logano, McDowell, all them guys. They will block to a point, but here in a little bit, it's going to be past the point of no return.
Just trying to take care of our push line forward, but also keep ourselves positioned towards the front.
Well, man, I tell you what, it's been pretty exciting. It looks like as we wind this thing down to the finish, you're starting to show what you've got to win another Daytona 500. Go have a great night. Looking forward to this final stage here.
10-4, man. Thank you.
He won the 500 in 2007 for car owner Richard Childress.
All right, I'm going to run to the bathroom one time before stage 3. I'll be right back. This is what I do at the racetrack during stage breaks. I'm going to worry Robert with this one. So, Robert, cover your ears. If I'm Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, or anybody, I'm thinking, how do I get this fucking 11 car out of this race? Not saying wreck him, I'm just saying, how do I get this 11 car just put in a completely bad spot and get him the fuck out? Because he's clearly the guy to beat. Harvick had the right idea earlier. How do you get Denny Hamlin the fuck out of this lead pack? I swear Dale Jr. used to just cast a spell on somebody. They could never get his ass out, but try it with Hamlin. Although he seems to be pretty damn good at it too. Yeah, how do I get Denny Hamlin out of here? If I'm a Toyota, I'm ride or die with Denny, but there's only like 3 of them, so everybody else will be like, nope, wherever he goes, I ain't going. I ain't going to sit there and ride. Not going to sit there and let him run this race.
66 laps to go. Joey Gase, 1 lap down.
You want him out, you take him. Nah. Austin Dillon sure will. Joey Logano sure will. Couple of guys there I know would have no qualms about wrecking that 11 car.
Now won 4 straight stages in the Daytona 500 mid-race stages.
And you were betting against him.
Hey, we might see history tonight, guys. Just might happen.
Among the memorable 3-peats, this would certainly rank right up there should it happen for Denny Hamlin. Now, in partnership with Netflix's new show, The Crew, Bush is interviewing for a paid spot on Kevin.
If you do it on purpose.
Tweet your answer to each question during the race for your chance to win. So with the next question, here's the Bush guy.
Here's a fun one. How much Bush could you pour inside of a standard NASCAR gas tank?
22 gallons.
You're not eligible.
22 gallons.
What do you mean?
That's the correct answer.
I went through it. We're still not eligible.
Kyle Larson got a penalty. I don't know what for.
Kyle Larson had a penalty, a safety violation.
Safety violation.
They had a
Are they going to hold him a lap?
The pit box. Larry, why would that be?
Please tell me that's tail end and not being held for a fucking lap. Hey, if Logano wrecks him, I'll be mad with you. Trust me.
But they were doing something up inside the right rear wheel well. They took the
Rear wheel well. That's a hard thing to say, isn't it?
Again, the penalties, the tail end, the longest
Okay, it's just tail end of the longest line for Kyle Larson. No biggie. It's where he was running anyways. 15th on the lead lap.
Larry, is it's all about the details, right? And the best you can get the shape of that fender back to what it was before that accident, the better that car's going to handle and the better speed it's going to have. So I don't know if they're just trying to get it as close to that as possible.
Move back in position the way you want and then cooled off. I agree. Definitely a penalty you don't hear every day. I can tell you that.
So among the stage 2 questions to win Clint's money, there were 2 cautions in stage number 2, and at the end of stage 2, there were 13 cars out of the race.
I don't think I picked either one of those either.
So the penalty for Larson is essentially no penalty.
I appreciate that.
So we're going to find out.
Stage 3. 64 laps to go. Austin Dillon's leading the race.
How much damage there is. We're going to work
But I think it's Denny time again. It's Denny time again.
Lead lap cars as we go set to go
You
back
know he'll always win.
and works a lap 200 and the conclusion of this Daytona 500. Whoa! 249 winners. Split the pot.
10,000 bucks.
10,000 divided by 249. I'm not good at math.
Eligibility split $10,000. 249 winners. What's that?
There we go. 64 to go. Green flag.
Can't do the math that quick. $40 a meter.
Time to get serious.
All right.
One more pit stop.
Stage 3. Austin Dillon. Denny
We'll see.
Big jump for the 3.
Great restart for Austin Dillon. No real push, though. But he's cleared of whoever he wants to block. He chooses to get down in front of Hamlin. McDowell shoving Hamlin into the next dimension. And Hamlin shoots to the outside of Hamlin once this leads. He wants to control this race. Nice move to get the lead back. Fox's drone cam just died. It turned blue. The drone cam blue screen. Hamlin back out front with Harvick behind him.
Right to the front every time. Boy, Bubba Wallace was giving a shove to Michael McDowell, who was giving a shove to Austin Dillon.
I know the temptation is strong to wreck Michael McDowell if you're Bubba Wallace.
For 3 in a row, Clint. I'm telling you, I mean, that car is fast, but some of the moves that he makes, you know, we've seen other guys.
Denny Hamlin just hit a piece of debris. I'm not lying either. It was like a little piece of something there. Could have been nothing harmful. Hamlin has to slide up in front of Harvick. Opens the door for Austin Dillon again on the bottom.
He's making great decisions. His spotter's working well.
Oh, Jesus. That was Hamlin. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hamlin has to save it. Keeps the lead. Harvick lifts off, and Hamlin will keep the lead, but I thought Hamlin was a goner there. You talk about changing, and that would have happened right in front of the field, too. Right in front of the field.
Watch this and see where it pushed very near.
Hey, Harvick's taking my advice. How do we get this 11 car out of here? Yeah, he was just bump drafting, but oof. Oof. Best save of the night I've seen so far. No, you don't want to go to the back now. You're leading the race. Yeah, I ain't going to the back now. We're in stage 3. I'm leading the race. I'm staying up here.
So, Clint, you see that unfold? How's the view from up here?
Unless I get put in the middle, like 3 wide, I'm not going to the back. If I get put in a bad spot, yeah, I'll go to the back. But I'm leading, and he's got him trained up against that wall again. Yep. Hamlin, Harvick, Logano, Busch, Cindric, Custer. Single file out against the wall, and everybody's training up now. Well, he had a nice few moments there of actual racing.
Let's go back and take another look at that.
Yeah, they've got Harvick's on board with Hamlin's in-car camera. Woo! You know, you don't usually see that much steering input on a straightaway, do you? We're coming to 60 to go, so this is basically a dual race now, guys. 60 to go.
You could just barely see Denny's eyes there in that clear visor, but you could see he was watching his mirror the whole time down the back straightaway.
They got a little wider when his hands got busy, too.
Train kept a rolling all night long.
Here at the Daytona 500, and Denny said it this week. He said, when we get here and we unload this car, my focus is on Sunday. I don't think about the raw speed.
Let's go to Tim Brewer in the Craftsman Tech Garage so he can tell us why you don't usually see drivers turn that much on a straightaway.
Chris Gabehart knows exactly what he wants. He said they have the same setup from a year ago, Mike, and the car has just been solid again, and here he is, leading once again.
Well, why go away from something that's working?
Chris Gabehart, as we said, as Hamlin's crew chief, he's never lost a 500.
Parts of this race have felt like that Eagles-Redskins game from the end of the season.
You're looking for something, you want a car that pulls up good. But talk about the handling, the wandering that we have. You know, when you come here and a car has a tendency to wander at times. I mean, I'm a big believer.
Boyer, it's just the car tends to wander. No, Boyer, that's just your shitty ability. I've seen many a car wander on Clint Boyer, wander into the outside of somebody else. Boyer was such a fucking weapon on the super speedways. He doesn't get enough shit for that.
But it definitely is a car that he has a lot of confidence
When that
in.
car is stable, it instantly puts you into offense. No defense, doesn't even cross your mind. It's all offense all the time.
Boyer's just as bad as Stenhouse and Logano and McMurray. And speaking of McMurray, he's in the top 10.
With 58 laps to go.
Oh my God, George Lopez show's coming on. What time is it? 11:30. Ask Jimmy Johnson how stable Clint Boyer was behind the wheel on a super speedway. Wonder if Jimmy would laugh. This race is shaping up to be very dramatic. no, Denny Hamlin's upside down on the backstretch. Shit. I'm kidding. April Fools. April Fools. I'm just kidding around. He's still leading. Boyer wrecked Jimmy Johnson at Talladega last year. He wrecked him in the Daytona 500. He wrecked him at Daytona the year before. I don't care if they do it on purpose or not. If you're the same fucking guy's causing the wrecks all the time, Ricky Stenhouse, then they need to do something. The conflict of interest between a driver driving for a different team and owning another. Because Denny Hamlin driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, but he owns Bubba Wallace's car. So I think the ethics of what's Hamlin going to do to win the race for himself versus help his own driver in that other car. I think that's going to be interesting to shape up here at the end. Oh, Robert, I wish I could have seen your reaction. Oh, man. Yeah, Ryan Newman survives another terrible crash on a super. That motherfucker, he just do like Mark Martin and go part-time and just run everything except the super speedways. Of course, he'd still want to run the Daytona 500, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, the end of this race is going to be wild as shit. All it's going to take is one late caution after final pit stops to set this thing off. Whenever the final pit stops happen, the next caution after that is going to set the shit show in motion. Oh, boy, it's time for the Credit One Banks 1-to-1. My microphone's tangled up in the cord.
He's analyzing, trying to find any weakness that Denny Hamlin might have. Haven't seen it yet, but if anybody could beat Denny, I believe it's Kevin Harvick.
Jeff, I've got my eye on a young
Larry Mack Reynolds wants to talk to you about Austin Cindric.
Austin Cindric came here, had to qualify his way in, started on the rear row of the field. He won the Xfinity Series race.
I'm a kidder.
You know, 10 years
I'm a big-time kidder.
A guy by the name of Trevor Bank won in his second career start here at Daytona.
Anybody ever won their first Cup start? Didn't Mario Andretti win his first Cup start or something? Boy, imagine if Cindric won this race. You talk about strapping a rocket ship to somebody's ass and launching their career. I will watch the IndyCar races this year that Jimmy Johnson's in. I'm very intrigued by that. I'm a casual IndyCar fan. Don't watch every week. Don't necessarily keep up with it religiously, but I enjoy popping on some races when I remember to watch them, you know. So I'll try to keep track of Jimmy Johnson. He gives me a real reason to pay attention. Mike Joy picked Austin Dillon.
Is the 2018 Daytona 500 winner. That's Austin Dillon. Keep an eye on number 3.
It's getting foggy again.
And that's your one bank ones to watch.
It looked foggy on some of them wide shots.
Guys,
what's that?
Is it just me, or did nobody pick Denny Hamlin to win this race?
I kind of did. I told you.
It's the low-hanging fruit. They don't want to tell you why Denny Hamlin's going to win. We all know he's probably going to win. We want to intrigue you with how he might not win.
So you leave the blind objects on the table. We don't call it credit one bank ones to win.
True, but I'm usually searching for a winner, just so you know.
We like winners.
Winners with Neil Bonnet on ESPN.
All week long, the deck is stacked against you if you're Denny Hamlin.
The dick is stacked against Denny Hamlin, so says Clint Boyer.
I'm telling you, those two have to find one another. Kyle Busch has got to get with his team.
Where's Bubba? God, Bubba's at the tail end of this group now. Bubba was on that inside line the first 10 laps of this stage, and nothing ever formed up. But he's with the lead pack. He's just farther back than he needs to be.
Jamie McMurray, he's our USAA biggest mover from 15th to 10th since the
Hey, I could really get behind F1. Whoever gets the lead going into turn 1 on lap 1 wins the race. It's kind of like watching a cup race at Pocono with that high downforce package. Whoever gets the lead in turn 1 is going to win the race.
The nose is messed up on the front of that thing. You know that's hurting the speed on that car. He's in the top 10, Jeff.
Yeah, you know,
Jamie McMurray just needs the right pusher, and he can win this race.
Great job doing exactly that.
Anybody here running can still win this race. That's on the lead lap. 50 laps to go. We are in the last quarter of the Daytona 500.
Chevrolet has the second fastest lap of this race of anybody, next to Chase Elliott. And he's a former Daytona 500 winner. There's nobody you can count out that's still in the lead lap right
That's
now.
absolutely right. That's what I just said. Everybody on the lead lap could win. Even McMurray with that damage. Corey LaJoie might win this thing for all we know. Jordan Anderson went from 12th to 2nd on the last lap on Friday night.
This race, 74 of 150.
Now we saw this happen. We've seen this happen all night long. Right? These guys are in line. They're not in line because they can't pass. They are in line to get ready for the end of this race. How do I position myself? What do I have to do to find a way to be at the front when this thing is over? And by the way, we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen.
Well, we've had a lot of green flag racing.
That could possibly happen. We know it's going to probably materialize on the
Not enough cars wrecked to cause a wreck. Not enough cars left to cause a wreck that's going to red flag the race. Knock on wood.
potentially be coming up here also.
And last time we had green flag stops, each manufacturer stopped on
So when do you pit? Split the stage in half, or do you pit as soon as the window opens to get to the scheduled distance?
Intense moments in a race like this is
I would err on the side of split it in half if I've got enough teammates to run with me, because I don't want to get fucked if this race starts going to multiple overtimes.
at these different speeds. And Clint, I mean, you and I talked about this, and you saw what happened the last time they had that green flag stop, how wild and crazy it got.
Oh, and as that all came together, boom.
There will be drama in this race.
That's what happens. It can happen just in a blink of an eye. So, Larry, if we have green flag...
Michael Waltrip just got triggered. Clint Boyer said in the blink of an eye. Still haven't watched that documentary. I would like to watch that documentary, but I haven't seen it. Because I always forget about it. Because I try not to think about Michael Waltrip too much.
172, but here's what's interesting out there right now. We've been talking about Hamlin. Denny Hamlin in 11 car. Chris Gage
You need teammates to pit with you. I say teammates, I really mean, you know, same cars as you.
Right sides only. Everybody else did 4 tires. I like setting that final trip to pit road up, knowing I have 4 fresh tires from the previous stop.
Cole Custer was in the top half dozen, last year's Rookie of the Year. Stuart Haas, 41. Denny Hamlin continues to lead, and a little bit of...
And we go to commercial. Get these brakes in. Excuse me. Do I think someone flips? They hit that grass just the right way. Somebody gets spun through that tri-oval on the last lap. Hit that grass just right. Duke boys that shit. Oh wait, I mentioned the Dukes of Hazzard. I'm going to hell. Sorry, please don't cancel me. Denny Hamlin really is making this shit look easy, though. Good God. Look, it's fucking Troy Polamalu. If Austin Cindric wins, I will laugh hysterically. I remember laughing in 2006 when Denny Hamlin won the shootout. Remember that, Jeff? I was like, Denny Hamlin?
Here's an update on the Coca-Cola family. Denny Hamlin, your leader. Joey Logano, third. Austin Dillon, seventh. All in the lead draft. While Daniel Suarez and Ryan Newman were taken out in the 16-car incident.
I'm going to stream and put a heart rate monitor on the side of my chair next to the camera.
I keep thinking about that incident, lap 14 you just talked about, and the difference it's made in this race.
There's a lot of cars taking out, a lot of big heavy hitters.
Fifth place Austin Cindric is trying to do something that has not happened since 1980. Finish his very first NASCAR Cup race in the top 5. The driver who did it in 1980 also drove for Roger Penske, Rusty Wallace.
Rusty Wallace?
Remember that big old Impala that they built?
Couldn't win a 500, though. My dad's cousin, like the biggest Rusty Wallace fan you'll ever meet, and he said the same shit every week. Rusty's gonna do it today, you know it? He talks loud like that, too. He's like, man, I think Rusty's gonna win today. Every day Rusty was going to win. That was really funny when he couldn't win from like 2001 to late 04. Rusty's going to do it today, you know it?
I'm going to be very curious to see how he handles it because the intensity is going to...
God, if you knew this guy, his name's Barry, my dad's cousin Barry, if you knew this guy. Rusty's going to do it today. He's going to drive at, what is it, you know it?
Denny Hamlin's led 82 laps.
Rusty's got him.
Leaders, there have been 20 lead changes. 18 of 40 cars still on the lead lap. 6 caution flags so far. And a 5-hour and 40-minute red flag. Denny Hamlin, our race leader, won both of the stages.
Denny Hamlin about 10 laps ago said he felt like it was a little bit slower, but right now saying that the car is actually handling a little bit better than it was earlier. And he asked his team recently a question I've never heard a driver ask in the middle of a race. He said, how many laps have I led? The answer right now is 83.
Yeah, Cindric's trying to change the narrative, isn't he, Caden, by actually being a good driver.
Hamlin, Harvick, Logano, Kyle Busch, all veterans.
Like back when they made the memes about Chase Elliott not winning, now Cindric's trying to reverse the whole he's a shit driver.
Custer, Vince in 6th place.
Well, and he's done a fine job tonight. And, you know, they were talking to me, Mike Shiplin, the crew chief, about how that team last year in their rookie season together really spent the year accumulating data and building their notebook. A notebook that should begin to pay dividends.
40 laps to go.
Season. And I think we're starting to see that tonight in the season opener. They began the night patient, wanting to just learn and be there at the end and have an opportunity to make something happen. And they're in position to do just that.
Lap past Cody Ware, who's gone 3 laps down. And yes.
All it's going to take is one caution to set this race off.
Fastest laps tonight. Chase Elliott, quickest. Amy Mack. Corey LaJoy, the 3rd fastest lap of the night. Bubba Wallace and Michael McDowell. The top 5. Nice mix of...
One caution, and this will turn into a shit show. Yes, the Daytona 500 and the Super Bowl both had to be boring this year.
For 2021 for the season.
Yeah, nice opportunity for Corey LaJoy moving over to Spire Motorsports.
He and his crew chief Ryan Sparks moving over, and they asked Tommy Baldwin for permission to run that number 7. Got it, and evoked the memory of Alan Kowicki, Jeff Bodine, and others that have had success with that number. Ross Chastain, another face in a new place. The Chip Ganassi, number 42.
It'll be fun to watch this young man this year. I like his style.
Even they're running out of shit to talk about.
And I
I'm so surprised by this race. Not surprised that Hamlin's dominating. I'm just surprised by the way everybody else is behaving.
When I think about somebody that can run the wall, you don't have to look at.
But yeah, one caution and you'll forget how bad this race was up to this point. You can pit any time now.
Mix of Toyotas and Fords, but 7th through 13th are all Chevy Camaros all in a row.
Any time now.
37 laps to go in the Daytona 500 on Fox. Let's go side by side.
It really is the great American wait. I've got plenty of time to browse social media and not miss anything. This is what the Atlanta Cup race is going to be like in a few weeks. Okay, so if this was with the old Super Speedway package, the Super Speedway package that we had from like 2013 through 2018, I would be very pissed off because you would know for a fact that nobody would be able to make a move on Hamlin. At least with this package, I'm okay with them riding like this because a run can come from nowhere and happen really fast. 2 cars can get it done. All you need is one guy pushing you. But if this was the old era package, I would be bitching up a storm in here talking about how shit this race is. But I'm a patient man because this shit's different. I hope the next gen car doesn't totally mangle super speedways again and we get racing like this with no chance for anybody to pull out and make a move. It's probably the worst Daytona 500 since 2013. Certainly the least entertaining one anyway. Looks a lot like 2013, but the thing is, you know they can do better because you can make a move here. If I'm in second place and I jump out of line and the third place guy goes with me, I got you. That's all I need. Now, further back, you need a little more help to get there. But if I'm in that top 3, shit, one car pushes me, I can get there. Just get me to his fucking quarter panel.
34 laps to go in Daytona. Denny Hamlin trying to three-peat. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Austin Cindric, and others trying to deny him. 34 to go. Time for the final Busch interview question in partnership with Netflix's.
At 11:58, somebody needs to play Iron Maiden 2 minutes to midnight.
Bumper sticker on Harvick's car. Tweet your answer now using hashtag the crew and hashtag.
I would put downgrade, watch for other truckers.
Paid spot on Kevin's racing crew.
Last year for Gen 6, get a round of applause for that. Fuck this Gen 6 car. This thing has been like... The Gen 6 car is the worst thing that's ever happened in NASCAR racing other than Brian France. 2 worst things happened in NASCAR. Gen 6 car, Brian France. I'm scared about the Gen 7 because if the Gen 7 sucks, we're stuck with it for a decade. So they better get it right. It's going to feel so hopeless if they fucking shit the bed again and that car sucks. Because you're stuck with it for at least 8 to 10 years. Yeah, Robert, I'd say that too if I'd never won a championship. I'm fucking busting your balls.
Austin's grandfather, maternal grandfather, Jim Truman.
You guys are soldiers here watching this boring ass race.
I was at the Little Charlotte
30 to go.
Austin won his very first race, a rookie race. His mom never missed.
The Gen 6 would have been just fine if they'd have stuck with the 2014 version.
With Team Penske.
What was so fucking bad about the 2014 era package? Nothing. It was as good as it was going to get. And then I thought the 2016 version of the Gen 6 car was good. But the night racing, for some reason, with the 2016 car sucked. So they fucked with it again and made it worse. 2016 was perfect. 2014 had a bigger spoiler, but 2016 low downforce, high horsepower, that was good.
And never saw him make the same mistake again. Oh, we got this.
Hello. I think some Fords are pitting. Oh, yeah, this is pit stops. Harvick, Logano, Cindric, and Custer drop to the inside. And there's Keselowski and McDowell pitting with them. We got 6 Fords coming to pit road with 31 to go. 30 this time as the leader crosses. Just about split the stage in half.
Well, it's just going to be a 2-tire change.
2 tires for all the Fords. You know they're on the same tire strategy so they can stay together. Let's see how this cycles through. I'm sure they'll go to commercial as soon as they all get bunched up together as they cycle around. Man, that's a slow stop on Cindric. Hope he doesn't lose touch with these guys. Here come the Toyotas and the Chevrolets. They've all dropped to the bottom. Nope, just the Chevys. The Toyotas stay out, but we got a line of Chevys coming in. Ooh, Austin Dillon smoking the tires. Was that Austin Dillon? Oh, God, Buescher, look out. Not Buescher, Preece. I saw 37 and defaulted to Buescher. My mind was in 2018, I'm sorry. It's Preece, not Buescher. My mind traveled through time for a second, and I got the car mixed up with a different driver.
You start looking and everybody pitting on these green flag stops like this, it's almost like a drag race, it's like a relay race. And these Fords that pitted early, they got to find each other pretty quick to take advantage of pitting early. Got 3 of them lined up. You look at these Toyotas and their performance on pit road. They came off, everybody's together right here.
Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Truex, multiple laps down, and Bubba Wallace are lined up running together.
As hard as you possibly can in that straight line.
Larry, do the Toyotas come this time?
I think they may run another few laps. What their lap times do lined up like that versus all these others that's trying to get back organized. I think
this has gotten Bubba caught back up with Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin.
One of their teammates there, and Mark Truex Jr., even though he's got damage.
Here comes these Fords and Chevrolets snaking by.
Chase Elliott. A little further up there is Austin Dillon.
Here come the Toyotas. Fascinating to see all this. This is how you beat Hamlin here. You just got to cycle out in front of him. Even then, he's going to snake his way back through there. Right now, Joey Logano's the leader of the pack of the guys that have already pitted, and he's got help behind him. Harvick, Custer, Keselowski, and McDowell lined up behind Joey Logano here. And that 22 car is really good at making his car about 8 or 9 lanes wide.
The Toyotas that stopped together took 2 tires, so they should all come out
26 to go.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, you got this line of cars that are established with a lot of momentum, using the draft of multiple cars. So
I wish this bitch would shut up.
Toyotas have to do everything
fuck alone.
perfectly, and you can already see some separation between all 3 of them.
Yeah, Hamlin, Busch, and Bubba are not really on top of each other, but they're fast enough they can get up in front of these Fords. Although they're just going to go to where they're not and try to pass them. Logano's not going to let these guys get up in front of him. He's going to try to go around them. This really hurt Bubba. Bubba's going to struggle here. He's just going to have to tuck in line here behind this bunch. Hopefully he can. Right now, Hamlin is the leader, but look how big that lead is. He's going to get swallowed up in a hurry. Kyle Busch will be first. Bubba's doing a good job of breaking up that line back there to try to find a spot. That's the thing. I'm just watching to see if Bubba tucks into this draft and stays hooked.
Kyle Busch might slow him down a little bit, but not at all. They got to be carrying you 4 or 5 more miles per hour than these other guys.
Here they come. Hamlin blocks Logano, but Logano swoops to the inside. Hamlin's smart, doesn't block that run. And oh my God, they're all going to parade around Hamlin. Except Austin Dillon. God, look how slow Hamlin is compared to these guys. I thought that was going to cause a wreck. I thought Priest was going to run over Elliott as Austin Dillon got off the gas to let Hamlin in. Well, not to let him in, just to not run him over. Okay, so we have a new dickhead at the front. It's Joey Logano. 25 laps to go, and my worst nightmare is coming true. Joey Logano is leading the Daytona 500. And Denny Hamlin is on the bottom with no help. And if I'm in that line, I ain't moving down there. I ain't helping him. He's the last motherfucker I want in this group. Cindric really got pit stops. I figured he would. He had a slow stop. They waited about a second and a half or two longer on fuel. Matter of fact, he waited about 2.5 seconds longer than everybody else on fuel. So now Cindric's struggling to hang on to the draft. Well, Robert, this didn't really work out for you, but there's still Tom. One caution's going to set it off. God, Hamlin's losing the draft. He's just barely hanging on. I don't like that Joey Logano is leading this race. I don't know about you. I'd rather see Michael McDowell win. I don't like him at all either. Races are won and lost. Well, you know, Jim, races are won and lost on pit road. I think Hamlin is going to pick his way one by one. He's going to try to side draft a car, jump up in front of him. Side draft the next guy, jump up in front of them. Because he was peeking out of line back there behind Larson. I think that's Larson at the tail end. Just in front of Hamlin. Got some fucking work to do, though. They're about 12 or 13 cars back. Single file. Once again, single file against the outside wall. Yeah. Now we wait again. We waited for pit stops to shake it up. It shook up the running order. Now we're single file, waiting again. How's it all going to play out? Why did Joey Logano have to be the one to cycle through to the lead? Bubba Wallace is pitting again. Oh, they must have a problem. Or a penalty of some kind. Loose wheel. I'm going to guess loose wheel. Let me go to Twitter right now. Well, that's certainly going to ruin Bubba's day. It's loose wheel. Yeah, they're changing right sides. That's a bummer. Because that was the only guy I was really invested in here. Bubba said he had a vibration. Yeah, it's got to be a loose wheel. All right, boomers, you can relax. Bubba Wallace is out of contention. He's going to be a lap down here. Eventually, he's going to come out on the lead lap, but they're going to chase him down and lap him, so he needs a caution. Needs a caution and quick.
Champions of the Daytona 500.
Look at Derek Cope's picture.
20% of the 40-car field. And here's where they're running. Joey Logano, your race leader. Second, Austin Dillon 7. Denny Hamlin and Jamie McMurray in the lead draft. Kurt Busch is 4 laps back. Ryan Newman and Derek Cope out of the race. Now, you saw Bubba Wallace come in for an unscheduled pit stop. Regan?
Bubba came over the radio, Mike, and he said, I've got a vibration. Instantly said, I got to come this time. It got bad quick. Looks like possibly a loose wheel down here.
Well, I mean, this is when the green flag stops start to separate some of the experienced teams, and we saw it happen with Austin Cindric, a little miscommunication on the fueling. Now the 23 car with their pit crew, loose wheel.
And the 20 of Christopher Bell, one of the Joe Gibbs Toyotas, has a fuel problem. He's on pit road.
He had that problem earlier in the race, too. They were working underneath the deck on that earlier, so I'd say that's a pretty issue.
The Camping World, 20 to go.
To strategy, strength, and numbers. The Fords had a better strategy. They were early on the pit road, got out there, got themselves established in a line quickly, and was able to be at the front of this pack when the time's right. Now you go back to the flip side of that.
Bubba's Nike Airs were leaking, yeah.
They weren't established when they left. The pit stops were off.
Michael Jordan's going to be like, now what the fuck happened?
The difference. Look
So Bubba's a lap down, but he's tucked into the lead pack, and he's the first car lap down, I believe. Bill is, isn't he?
Point, I'm a little surprised that they didn't look at the numbers and say, hey, which one of these groups? Should we try to pit with the Fords or pit with the Chevrolets?
5 Fords.
That momentum or lose that.
Chastain, the leading Chevrolet, is all I'm saying. If one of them Chevys goes out of line and the rest don't go, I'm going to be highly upset. I'm not going to sit here and let you have Joe Logano win this race because he cycled through the lead on pit stops. And Bubba Wallace is the first car 1 lap down. So a caution gets him right back in the game.
I remember, I think, Jeff, it even confused you, and I was on my couch in the motorhome. I'm not poking fun. It's just...
It would be fitting for Joey Logano to win the lamest Daytona 500 I've seen in about 8 years. Toyota's sucking because they don't have enough cars. Truex is multiple laps down with damage. Bill's got damage. He can't keep up, so there's only 3 of them. That's what fucked them. There's only 3 of them, and there's like 5 Fords. And there's 6 or 7 Chevrolets. They're just outnumbered.
He's trying really hard, but he's not going to be able to do it by himself. So, yes,
they needed more help.
His other teammate,
TRD needs to start their own damn race team. Number one, we'd get more cars at the racetrack capable of winning to cancel out those shitty Rick Ware cars.
Logano, Harvick, Custer, Keselowski, McDowell, then 3 Chevrolets. Chastain, Bill.
Where's my 8-wide racing? This is bullshit. I don't like this snake. Don't tell me my dude Ross Chastain's going to smash some watermelons on your ass at the end of this.
I say this all the time, especially when it comes to green flag.
16 to go. We are 3 minutes past midnight. Happy Monday for those of you who have to work today. I'm not one of you. I don't have to work today.
Better than anybody else.
I get to stay up late and watch the Daytona 500 with no consequences. You realize if I had work tomorrow and I'd stayed up to watch this boring fucking race, I'd be very annoyed. I'm happy I can just sit here and relax. The only thing that's bugging me right now is Joey Logano leading this fucking race. Anybody in that top 10, I'd be happy to see win as long as it's not Joey Logano, even Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch going to win this shit James Buescher style when the whole top 10 wrecks. Remember Talladega in the spring of 2018? I do. Kevin Harvick just sat there and let Joe Logano win the fucking race. But this is the Daytona 500, though. Harvick's going to repeat 07.
Because they made that late pass and went to the inside lane.
Not to mention they put it a little bit early. I mean, even our own America's crew chief in our ear was saying, be a couple, 3 more laps before they come. Boom, they're on pit road, so maybe a little bit of shit.
Easy there, John Madden. Don't say boom when I'm not looking at the screen, okay?
If they were going for the lead or we're going to form up to pit at that time.
15 to go. We're just a riding.
Whatever they did, it worked.
We're just a riding around. Riding with the top down. Daytona Beach.
So now, this lead pack
Looking for a fucking Hooters to go to or something. 1 lap car in this group, it's Bubba.
I don't want anybody listening at home, watching this at home, to think that there's not going to be a lot of shuffling up in this group.
They've been saying all night, don't worry, guys, be patient. They're going to do something. I believe them, but still. Doesn't make it any less annoying. Sit here and wait, looking at my watch, counting the laps. Harvick's got a teammate with him. Joey's teammate is behind Harvick's teammate. So, yes, they're Fords and they'll stay together for now, but I think the 2 teammates will split off and help their teammate. Jamie McMurray is leading a pack that might catch this front group. McMurray, Corey LaJoie, Cindric, Truex, multiple laps down, tucked in behind them. So they've got enough to make a little push here and catch the tail end of this group. At least this race has not been a wreck fest. See, there's a fine line. I want exciting action, but at the same time, I hate it when they pile up for no reason. Bold predict? Yeah, that's a bold prediction the way they've run tonight. Betting on an overtime. Choo-choo! Coming to 12 to go. What a Daytona 500 this turned out to be. Not. The greatest season, guys. It's going to be the best season.
Denny Hamlin can still win this race, Jeff. I mean, obviously,
Denny Hamlin's a long shot. As these laps tick down, he's a long shot. They're just, the Toyota, they're outnumbered. It's as simple as that. That's how broken this whole super speedway thing is. 5 Toyotas. Well, guess what? 2 of them are fucked.
Well, then it must be time for Larry's trends of the race.
All right, Larry Mack, give us something. You like Kurt Busch, the lap car, running the outside line, making these guys all go to the bottom?
I just start reading the twins. So anyhow, I looked at the last
Did he say twins?
Daytona 500s and looked at the trends of the patterns.
I think the big one just scared everybody into
Roughly 6 laps to go.
driving like bitches the whole day. But yeah, the lack of energy in the pack and basically half a field running is what killed the big pack you were seeing. But everybody's being conservative. Hello, we got moves here. We got moves. Chastain moves down, and Austin Dillon sells him out. Custer moved down as well to block, and now he's going to the back with him. Well, Harvick just lost his teammate. He's in a pitch. Oh. Chastain desperately trying to get back in line. He nearly cut in front of Larson and caused a crash. Austin Dillon didn't go with him. And then Custer fucked himself, so Harvick's up there in a Penske sandwich. But yes, Denny Hamlin gained a few spots out of that. So, hey, Robert, 10 to go. A couple of cars you just got around. Got more work to do, though. I think there's going to be a Chevy-Toyota alliance here. There's going to have to be to beat those 4 guys at the front. I bet you Michael McDowell makes a move. Oh boy, that was the first big shuffle there on this run to the finish. And Joey Logano is still cruising with the lead. I hate to see it. Can we just get him out of there? Then I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens as long as Logano doesn't win. Which means he's almost guaranteed to win, just like fucking Ben Rhodes did Friday night when I said he was the one I didn't want to see win.
18 laps as they come out.
9 laps to go. That little Caesars thing made me think there was a caution again. Denny Hamlin's just got an inch forward. If the Chevys go, Hamlin should go with them.
Oh, yeah. It's the storm's brewing. I was just looking. I keep looking at this manufacturer lineup when I look up through the lineup.
4 Fords. They lost one of their number, but there's still 4 of them, and 2 of them are going to be very committed to each other.
Now everybody's mixing between. That's what creates the chaos in the race that we're all looking for out of this Daytona 500.
If Hamlin wins this race with basically no real teammate help at this point, I'd be very impressed. He's Superman if he pulls this off. 8 laps to go. My stomach is dropping because Joey Logano is still leading, unchallenged.
I want to be in Joey Logano's, where he's at. I want to be the leader. But I gotta say, it's gonna be so hard if somebody makes a move now. His best friend is Brad Keselowski. We know Kevin Harvick's gonna want to make a move, but Kevin Harvick's going to need somebody. And I don't know if Brad Keselowski is going to go with Kevin Harvick. So Kevin Harvick's got some tough decisions to make as we wind this race down.
Harvick's in a box. As soon as Custer got dropped out, I was like, damn.
And behind Kez, I continue to be impressed with Michael McDowell. He's driven an extremely smart race. He sits right there with that group.
Michael McDowell driving a smart race is a very rare occurrence. So he should be applauded.
Teams, Front Row Motorsports, where McDowell's found a home these last few years, but he's in position to try to win this.
Always overachieving on these restricted plate tracks like this. Always.
And front row cars can run well at these tracks. That front pack has gotten really big. They're still single file, but there's a lot of cars hooked up now. 6 laps to go. Fucking kill me.
Straight away, he moved it aside and took the win. You can see
this 3 car. We've watched him make moves in that duel, Jeff. I look for this car to make a move and have a really good partner in the 9-car push.
But I want you to go back to a conversation that Brad Keselowski was having a little bit earlier. Hey, I'm going to back this thing up, and I need a push. He's backing up to that 34 car McDowell right now.
Keselowski's testing out backing up to make a run.
Hey, I want you to go with me.
Brad, if you pass Joey Logano for the win, I'll love you forever.
Plan that move.
I've always liked Brad, but if he makes the move to pass Logano for the win, I love him forever.
Here's Keselowski's radio. Coleman Presley to spot.
Joey's going to be like, what the hell, man? So much for teammates. 5 laps to go. Get your shitting pants on.
I was going to say, you're right. Brad is very good at that, but I think the run's going to establish
Testing those runs.
the 3-car, the 9-car.
I'm starting to think you need to do it now. They're so fucking single file and orderly. As the laps tick down, I get more and more nervous that whatever move they make ain't going to be enough. Joey, yeah, Joey's like, yeah, make him wait till the last lap. Go ahead, wait till the last lap. Because if y'all fuck each other over, I'm only going to have to block once. You saw that in the duel race. 4 laps to go.
And block that run and try to attempt their win at the Daytona 500. And when they do, he's still got allies behind him. If he pulls down and blocks that, he has options where he's at with the company he has behind him.
At the end of the last stage, the Chevys made their move. Michael McDowell moved right down in front of them.
I knew when Logano missed that big wreck earlier, he was going to wind up in this position.
To ride behind these Fords to the finish, and that's coming in 4 laps.
Austin Dillon's sizing him up, I'm telling you.
Michael McDowell in front.
And he's pushing McDowell. You know McDowell's like, hell yeah, brother, let's go.
He's pushing, hoping
McDowell will take that push.
wants to step out and make that move here early. He's forcing him, just say, come on, man, go ahead, or I'm going to just...
We're running out of time. You better go 3 fucking laps to go. 3 to go.
The Toyotas, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin have just 1 car between them. That is Kyle Larson.
2 cars from that far back can't make a run, but in that top 4 or 5, yes, 2 cars can make it happen. But back where Kyle Busch and Hamlin are, they're just a little too out of reach, I think.
Opportunity for Joey Logano is that all those guys have all these...
Brad really laid back there. Brad really laid back on Harvick.
They move forward, but they actually don't get...
We are coming to 2 laps to go. Speak now or forever hold your fucking penis. Race now or forever hold your penis. If you can find it. 2 laps. I don't see it, guys. 2 to go. Now is the fucking time. Brad's gonna do it this lap. Brad is gonna do it this lap. Look how far he backed off of Harvick. Brad is going to make this run now. Next time Brad gets to them, he's making the move.
With the last lap change of the lead. That's not going to change tonight.
Big run to 3, and Keselowski goes to the bottom. Michael McDowell with him. Joey down to block. Joey had to get out of line and block Keselowski. Okay, that got Brad to 2nd. Now what? Here comes Austin Dillon on the outside for 4th. Harvick shuffled out. White flag. Harvick has no help. McDowell sideways coming out of the tri-oval. Brad, I swear to God. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Come on, Brad. Brad's going to do it. Oh, never mind. Austin Dillon just fucked him. Joe Logano's going to win the 500. Brad goes up. Nah, Logano's got it. He's got it. Logano's got it. Or does he? Oh, and the Penske cars get turned, and Keselowski's in the fence. They're still green. 3 wide for the lead out of 4. Caution's out. Michael McDowell won the Daytona 500. Caution's out. Oh, my God. Did that just happen?
To the line, but we'll have to go back to the moment of caution, which ends the race. Brad Keselowski is climbing out. He's okay. Joey Logano, we see taking off the glove.
The Penske cars got turned.
He was first across the line. NASCAR will review and have to determine the finish at the moment of caution.
Michael McDowell just won the Daytona 500.
If that's the case. Bob Jenkins' Front Row Motorsports crew is celebrating on pit road.
Incredible. You're going to see some.
Keselowski and I wish they'd have let him race back. I wish they'd have let him race back. God damn it, Elliott and Austin Dillon were 3 wide with McDowell at the time of caution. Is Kyle Busch okay?
Really hard hit Kyle Busch when he came in.
I don't know who took the harder hit, Kyle or Brad. Is Kyle all right?
Safety crew very quickly on the scene. Being directed.
Somebody broke the wall.
There's a bumper cover up there.
Okay, Kyle's getting out. Kyle's out. He's good. Well, he's probably sore, but he got out of the car. He's walking. Pretty sure Michael McDowell just won the Daytona. What the fuck? Yeah, guys, that was totally worth it. Not really, but you know.
NASCAR is still reviewing video.
They've got to go to the time of caution. Remember, on the final lap, it is not scoring loops. They go to video replay on the final lap to see who was ahead at the time of caution. It's synced up with the caution clock, or the caution lights. So when does the caution lights come on and who's in the lead?
Where did that caution come out?
Ooh, I think Chase Elliott might have won. I think Chase Elliott might have won.
Right there, though. Dowell the run on the outside with a
I would say McDowell won, but that made me think Elliott might have won.
Michael McDowell, the 3 of Austin Dillon, pulled ahead of Chase Elliott.
And
Michael McDowell. They rule it Michael McDowell. I thought Elliott had it. Michael McDowell just won the Daytona. Good God! That wreck was way worse than I saw. Holy fucking Christ. Well.
And the 8th driver in history to score his first career cup win in the Daytona 500. And yes,
I have one word to describe this race. AIDS.
awesome job. So happy for him, his family, that team.
I wish they'd let him race back to the line, though. But a wreck that bad, they threw the caution. I get it. They wanted to get safety crews out there as fast as possible. Boy, that was a nasty crash. That was nasty. This race was fucking ass. Oh, man, this race was ass.
Ability to pull that off, and you're right. Michael McDowell is one of those guys that does it often.
A man of deep faith.
A man of God.
In victory lane by Drew Blickensderfer, his crew chief, who reminds me, Larry reminds me of his crew's second 500 win, and his new spotter, Clayton Hughes, for 2021.
Yeah, that was Mark Truex Jr.'s spotter for a long time.
Let's repeat, all drivers involved in that horrendous crash in turn 3 have climbed from their cars and appear to be okay.
Yeah, that's great news, because when I saw Kyle Busch go in, there was such a that's a famous cheer for that. Flying the American flag on the helmet.
This race was ass. It's got an ass winner.
Chase Elliott second, Austin Dillon third, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin trying to three-peat, completes the top 5 unofficially.
This was fucking ass.
Ryan Preece,
And I'm all for it.
Corey LaJoy, Kyle Larson, your top 10.
Well, what can you say, guys? Bump drafting gone wrong. McDowell shoved Keselowski, who shoved Logano, and
Long time coming for Michael McDowell. Here's
just didn't work out. Why is my phone not working?
14th year.
Why can I not look on my phone at Facebook? Why?
Your first career
Okay.
win. You're a Daytona 500 champion.
Fuck off.
I just can't believe it. Just
God.
so many years just grinding it out and hoping for an opportunity like this. Gotta thank Love's Travel Stop, Speedco.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have our new worst driver to ever win a Daytona 500.
I'm so thankful. Such a great
My kids, I love you guys. I wish they could be here with me to celebrate. Maybe NASCAR will send a plane to bring them down here, but...
I really wish they would have let him race back.
I cannot believe this. Thank you, Doug Yates, Ford. We had our fourth
I feel empty. That was funny, but I feel empty inside.
Michael McDowell has been there at the end of so many of these, Mike, and finally tonight it was his.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, Trevor Bain's probably worse. I don't know. Trevor Bain at least won didn't he win a couple of Xfinity races? McDowell's got one Xfinity win. Road America. Driving for RCR.
Well, Chase Elliott watching this.
Well, at least Joe Logano didn't win.
Right next to him there. You were side by side with Michael McDowell.
I know. Let him race back. I feel nothing.
I don't think it was very close. I mean, I kind of got next to him and I saw the lights come on, so I knew it was over right then. But, yeah, just huge thanks to Napa and Chevrolet, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. Felt like we had a fast car.
Jamie McMurray, top 10. Corey LaJoie, top 10.
We did a really good job executing today. Staying out of trouble, that's not something I've done a very good job of.
God.
So glad we could at least finish this one and
What just happened?
have something to build on for when we come back.
Roger Penske's checkbook took a massive hit. He already lost Blaney early in the race. In the last corner, all three of his cars just get straight up jumped. Waited too fucking long. That's your goddamn problem, guys.
We finished one, so I'm pretty pleased with that. Thank you, Chase.
Yeah. You're just relieved to finish these when you get to this point. If you don't win, you're just really happy that you finished. So, Brad backs off, gets the shove from McDowell, goes low, Logano blocks, they get hooked, and yeah, Joe Logano blocked, but what are you going to do? It's the last lap. I'm not mad at Joey. He had to block. If they race back to the line, who knows who fucking wins, because they're three wide and none of them had a push. That would have been the greatest finish in Daytona 500 history, three wide, with neither guy having draft help if you don't wave the caution.
Using our Fox Coast car, and clearly at the moment of caution, McDowell is out in front of Chase Elliott and Austin Dillon to secure the victory.
Joey had to make the block. And then all hell broke loose. Jesus, man. Ross Chastain and Bubba Wallace got tore up in that fucking mess for nothing. Nobody's going to lift. It's the last lap. Let's take it to Twitter, shall we? Oh my God. What? I feel empty. That was such a lousy race. Okay, so I'm saying on the last lap, if the wreck happens past a certain point, like down the back, you let them race back. I don't care how bad the wreck is. You can send safety crews out to where the wreck happened because they're not racing back through there. They're all ahead of the wreck going to the finish line. He just hung around there all night. Michael McDowell. Hey, look. Moment before unfortunate NASCAR events. Gotta send that to a friend. That shove into Keselowski to Logano, who blocks, hook, crash, McDowell wins. Jesus Christ. I'm just, trying to find a positive other than Joe Logano didn't win. Here's a replay of it. I know it's small and you can barely see it, but if I go full screen, the video won't show. Brad didn't do anything wrong, Blu-ray. Brad did not wreck Joey Logano. Brad backed off to get a run. McDowell pushed him. Brad made his move. Joey blocked. They got hooked together. That was not Brad's fault. That was nobody's fault. It's more Joey for blocking, but what the fuck's Joey going to do? It's the last lap, so just a racing deal. Brad did nothing wrong. I mean, Brad just tried to win the race. God, McDowell shoved him hard. As soon as he got to Joey's inside, I went, yay! And then the wreck happened, and then McDowell gets there, and then I see Elliott coming, and the caution's out, and I was like, shit! I don't think that finish saved this race. This race fucking sucked ass. The finish didn't save the race because they didn't let them race back to the line, so it's fucking lame. This race was pretty garbage. One of the worst Daytona 500s I've ever watched. Can I play the video again? Let me try to get... I can't go full screen with it, but I can click on the... Okay. There you go. Big shove to Keselowski. Logano blocks. They hook. Crash. NASCAR sees fire. Throws a caution right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that just happened. One of the lamest Daytona 500s in recent memory. Oh, well. And then I like how they race all day to not tear shit up, and then shit still gets tore up at the end anyway. Michael McDowell is a NASCAR Cup Series winner and a champion of the Daytona 500.
Brad Keselowski gets hard into the wall.
There's your top 12 finishing results, at least according to the monitor. Should have raced back to the goddamn line, but whatever. That was a pretty nasty wreck. If the wreck is that bad, they always throw the caution.
So glad to see Brad come out of the care center. Okay, what happened? How do you explain what went on?
Had a big run down the backstretch. Went to make the pass to win the Daytona 500, and it ended up really bad. I don't feel like I made a mistake, but I can't drive everybody else's car. So
Brad is shook up. I actually feel bad for Brad.
Not the fastest, but Jeremy Bowen's whole team did a great job of keeping us in position, and right then we were in position. It's exactly where I want to be, running second on the last lap of Daytona with this package, and had to run, made the move, and it didn't work out.
Thanks, Brad.
I'm actually upset for Brad there. I can tell he's very rattled. I've never seen Brad quite that mad.
That he hasn't gotten, and you can see the frustration not getting it tonight.
That really bums me out.
And I agree with Brad. I think he did everything right. He got the big push. He went to make the move. He's got so much momentum. There's nothing more that he could do. And I think Joey Logano didn't make an abrupt move. He just tried to slowly slow down that momentum, and they made contact.
And in hindsight, when you look at it now that you've seen the wreck and know what happened, well, he wrecked his teammate. That's not the case. He was going for the biggest race of his career. He hasn't won this Daytona 500.
Let's ride with the Toyota onboard camera and Bubba Wallace.
There's Bubba's on board. I feel bad for them. They're a lap down because that loose wheel vibration deal they had, and he gets caught up in a fucking mess. God, there was fire in the cockpit. Did you see that? There was fire in Bubba's cockpit.
Decision making there, though. He let those guys race, right? He wasn't at that moment, right? He already had his issue, and he knew he couldn't help his teammates out anymore at that point. He pulled us down low. Let these guys go.
And Michael McDowell is in Daytona 500 victory lane.
Showing a little damage from the lap 14.
Battle scars on that 34 car. They got the confetti machine set up. We're ready. Damn shame his team can't come celebrate in victory lane.
Fourth place finish tonight for
Kevin Harvick, top 5.
You're in position at the end there, and things just didn't quite pan out.
Yeah, you know, everybody, Brad laid way back there and got a run on the inside. And then at that point, when it scatters, you hope that you get a push or you can wind up in the right spot. And I just wound up in a spot that finished fourth. So, great bush light.
Made it through in one piece, though.
Able to position ourselves up front. Kind of a weird race the way it all would single file out. And then you kind of scatter there a lap or two at the end and see where it all played out.
Thanks, Kevin.
Michael McDowell has experienced so many highs and lows of the sport. Maybe now we can retire that Texas qualifying crash video.
Yeah, he's finally known for something other than flip barrel rolling at Texas.
Lost it, ended up with a starting team. to keep his name alive and be visible in this
Barrel
sport.
roll at
And then
Texas.
found a home with Front Row Motorsports, and here he is, a Daytona 500 champion.
Mike, you don't stay around.
Hey, we got a Kyle Busch interview
for as long
coming.
as Michael McDowell has, without hard work,
Sure, this will be
without
good.
dedication, and without talent. And boy, today, all that came together at the right moment to win the biggest race of his career and biggest race in our series.
Made the right decisions, right place at the right time. All of those things go into winning this race.
His aggressive pushing won him the damn race because it set up Keselowski and Logano to kill each other. And he walked through the door. And Kevin Harvick, always on point, always blunt.
All right, let's join Vince.
Yeah, back here at the Advent
I told you Harvick would be sarcastic and dry about it.
Massive hit as well in that accident. How do you describe the chaos of what was going on there?
This will be good.
Just that. I mean, it's to be expected, you know, just a matter of time before it all kind of breaks loose and whatever happens, happens here. I saw a window to the outside and then all of a sudden I had the 2-car on my hood. So, I don't know. You know, I felt like those guys were going to get bogged down on the bottom, so I was trying to shoot for the top and get a run around the outside of them. That's typically where everybody was going all night long. And
Going 190 miles an hour with the weak brake packages they run at Daytona honestly makes the wrecks worse, doesn't it?
For a win, but got clobbered a few good times there, obviously, and just fortunate that I'm all good, and you know, our M&M's Camry will that one won't live on to see another day, but hopefully we'll be back here.
That one might be in Dale Jr.'s backyard soon.
Better go around and on the road course and get back after it.
Yeah, glad to see you're okay. Thanks, Kyle.
Kyle will be scored.
Brad had to run to win the race. Brad made the right move.
Place finisher.
It's unfortunate what happened because Brad made the right move.
Comes home in third place. You're battling out with those guys at the end.
That shitty race ends under caution. Go figure.
Yeah, you know, you just got to be thankful to be around at those moments at the end. And I pulled out to see if the bottom would work and just didn't get enough of a run, and it was close. I know that I got to thank all my sponsors, Bass Pro Shops, Tracker Off-Road, BetMGM, WorkRise, but Get Biofuel, everybody that helps this program down. Justin Alexander built a rocket ship. We were here all weekend scoring points, and that's all I can ask for. Team worked hard in the offseason, ACR power, and what can I say? Chevy was really close. I really had fun working with my guys tonight in the Chevy camp. Good run, Nelson.
Yeah, Kyle Busch was surprisingly upbeat. And here's fucking Denny. I feel bad for Denny, too.
What exactly happened there that got you shuffled?
We were too far out front. We just got on and off pit road.
Not enough Toyotas and too far out front. Cost Denny Hamlin the race.
We're ahead of the pack, and
Oh, you're a Harvick fan. I get it.
I figured the Chevys would make a move with like 2 or 3 to go because they're not going to win from on the last lap from 5th or 6th. So, you know, I was able to gain some positions there. I think I was 12th, and everybody was running single file, so it kind of handcuffed me. I couldn't really do anything, and then I hope once I got to 8th, I was like, okay, as long as they make a move with 2 to go, I'm in the energy area where I can make something happen. And all we could get to was, you know, top 5 there, but dominant car. I mean, just a dominant car. Just it's one of those things where you execute too good, and just got freight train there.
Denny Hamlin brings it home fourth.
Freight train, definitely the story of the race. And Michael McDowell's doing the hat dance. Never thought I'd see Michael McDowell doing a hat dance after a cup race.
And the rest of his Front Row Motorsports team.
At certain points throughout the race, I was like, you know, it would be very interesting to see Hamlin win 3 straight Daytona 500s and see how he holds off all these guys to make it happen. Because all night long, stage 1, stage 2, they'd get to racing hard on the last lap of the stage or last couple laps. He'd hold them off. He'd wind up in the front no matter what happened. Then Christopher Bell takes damage. Truex was already out, multiple laps down with damage. Bubba has to pit for a loose wheel. It's just fucking Denny and Kyle basically by themselves. They got way out in front of everybody after pit stops, but there was like 10 car lengths between Denny, Kyle, and Bubba when they came off pit road, and Logano had a train of guys behind him, and they just smoked them. Put Denny at the tail end of their little line, and got single file again and rode around for the next 30 fucking laps, and then that happens. So they were just outnumbered. The story of the race was they didn't have the numbers. But on that last lap, it was painfully clear obviously on the last lap that it didn't matter what the fuck you were driving because Brad immediately backed off Joey to get that shove from McDowell, and that was the winning move. But that Joey Logano, he's a great blocker, ain't he? At least he finally ate shit on one of those blocks for once and didn't win the Daytona 500. So I don't like Michael McDowell. I think he's a dipshit and really phony, but good for that team. Front Row Motorsports has to win every now and then to justify their existence. Wish it was David Reagan, because could have won my boy Michael some money. He put 50 cents. David Reagan was at 100 to 1 odds. You put $1 on David Reagan and he wins, you get $100. And I was telling people, oh, I'm going to put $1 on David Reagan. Even if you don't watch NASCAR, just put $1 on David Reagan. He might be there at the end, but he got taken out on like lap 15. Did McDowell cause the wreck on purpose? No. McDowell didn't cause that wreck on purpose. He was making a run with Keselowski to get by Logano and set Keselowski up to pass him out of 4. I guarantee you that if Brad got to Logano before Logano could cut across his nose and Brad and McDowell clear Logano, McDowell would have backed off immediately to get a push from Logano to win the race. And look at that.
Welcome back to Daytona, where Michael McDowell.
Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick just pushed McDowell's car out of the grass when he got stuck. That's funny. But no, McDowell did not wreck anybody on purpose. Neither did Brad, neither did Joey. Nobody had any bad motives there.
And the driver who was leading going into that last lap.
You can't plan something like that to work out so fucking beautifully on a super speedway. Here's Dipshit's interview.
You're in the front, you're in the lead, final lap of the race. And then what?
Pandemonium, I guess. Chaos struck. T kept trying to back up, trying to get a run, and trying to back up to him to keep the runs from being too big, and I guess he got back up to the 34, and it ended up being a really big run coming at me, and didn't let go.
It was more about the push from McDowell than Logano's block. It looked like both happened at the same time. McDowell's push on Keselowski looked like Christopher Bell and Kyle Busch when they caused the big one early in the race.
With our Shell Pencil Mustang, I feel like we had obviously a great shot being where we were and leading on the last lap, but if we couldn't win, I'm really happy to see McDowell win this thing. He's a great guy, a great person, a good leader in life, and he's helped me a lot in my life, so very cool to see him win the Daytona 500.
And a great perspective. Thanks, Joey.
Road course next week.
Thanks, Vince. McDowell joins the list of first-time Daytona 500 winners. Who also get their
Tiny Lund, Mario Andretti, Pete Hamilton, Derek Cope, Sterling Marlin, Michael Waltrip, Trevor Bayne, and Michael McDowell. First career wins in the Daytona 500. Out of that bunch, I'd say Mario and Sterling were the best drivers. They were the only legitimate ones. I don't know much about Tiny Lund or Pete Hamilton, but I know Mario Andretti's a bad motherfucker in whatever he drove, and Sterling Marlin was always good.
Earnhardt's tire went down. Sterling Marlin, Michael Waltrip.
Well, Robert, you can go on YouTube and watch a replay of that last lap the next 2 days 1,000 times and try to see how Hamlin could have possibly won. Hey, the gates could have opened for him if they stay green. Who knows? Because I think Austin Dillon, Elliott, McDowell were all going to just cream each other at the start-finish line. That would have opened up an opportunity for Harvick or Hamlin.
Right back here on the 14-turn road course at Daytona.
I'm not getting off here yet because I'm just still trying to sit here and figure out why this race had to turn out this way. Why did this race have to turn out this way? Just bizarre, dude. You won't see a super speedway race like that ever again with this package. We don't know what the Gen 7 car is going to be like, but you won't see this again this year. It's okay. Chase Elliott finished second. He's going to win the road course Sunday. That's all good. Ryan Preece gets a great finish. I'm so happy for him. Was really worried about Kyle for a minute when he wasn't getting out of the car. And I backed up Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski did not make a mistake. He did everything right. Just got a bad bump, caught a bad block in front of him, ate shit. And remember when Keselowski complained about Joey Logano's blocks during the clash last year? So how did you think he felt getting wrecked watching the 22 car swap across his fucking front and bumper again? I don't think Michael McDowell had a Machiavellian scheme to wreck Team Penske on the final lap to win the Daytona 500. That finish was going to be crazy, guys. Dillon, Elliott, and McDowell, 3 wide. Nobody had drafting help. Harvick and Hamlin were spread out wide behind. They were 2x2, but spread out really wide. Nobody had a draft advantage. It was just going to be side drafting and door slamming all the way to the finish line. You realize how awesome that would have been? That would have saved this race. That would have been the cap off to a pretty garbage-ass race. But instead, it ends under caution. That could have opened the door. I'm just saying if the 3 of them all get together, Hamlin, whoever had the inside was most likely going to win. Because if the 3 of them, Elliott, McDowell, and Austin Dillon get hooked together, they're going to go towards the outside wall. And I'm pretty sure Harvick was Harvick on the inside or was Hamlin? I have to go back and look at the replay. But they were going to wreck to the outside wall, I guarantee you that. And whoever was on the inside behind the 3 of them would have won the race, possibly. I can almost guarantee it. How do we make sure Denny doesn't get 3 in a row? Run 3 wide in front of him at the finish. It's a conspiracy. It's a goddamn conspiracy. What a podium. Michael McDowell, Chase Elliott, and Austin Dillon.
He's been it for so long, doing it for so long. He's one of the good guys, so it's so awesome to see.
I'd love to know the odds on Michael McDowell in Vegas. Who won money tonight?
That team works very, very hard. And I think the underlying story, Drew Blickensderfer, who works right here with us, that was his second Daytona 500 win. He won it, I think it was in 2009 with Matt Kenseth over at Roush Fenway. So happy for Michael, but happy for that entire organization.
Yeah, Michael is one of the great guys in the sport. He really is a great leader. And, I thought about this. He's really great friends with Trevor Bayne, obviously, that won his Daytona 500 10 years ago. So Michael, congratulations to you. I'm glad everybody was safe after that last wreck. But
Michael McDowell, hell of a champ car driver, though.
Together and got towards the end, and of course,
not been a fan of his NASCAR career, but hell of a champ car driver.
And he didn't like luck. I mean, there was obviously a little luck being in the right place at the right time, but he was in position, win those closing laps. And even Clint and those guys in the booth were giving him credit for always being where he needs to be at the end of these races.
Yeah, he's very aggressive. I think we certainly know that. And
here comes the replay from the. Okay, Logano throws the block. Keselowski.
He gave that push to Brad Keselowski.
Brad backs off. Gets one last good push to the inside, and there they go.
Win the Daytona 500, and the C's parted right there. And again, I want to stress to everybody, the moment of caution is what determined who was in front. It's not about scoring loops. It's not about timing lines.
On the final lap, it's about video replay, not scoring loops.
At the moment of the caution.
Yeah, and of course Mike Joy did tell us immediately that everybody got out of the car. We did hear from several of the guys that were involved in these wrecks as they came out of the infield care center. But obviously when you have 2 teammates, right, that are going for something like, it's a long night. We've been in and out of the car, and it's the biggest race of the season, and then you have 2 teammates on the last lap, and that happens. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of emotions.
Oh, yeah, it really was. Brad Kay trying to get his first win, and, you got Michael McDowell that's really, really fast. Him probably at the point where he's getting him a little bit loose. Joey's blocking. Everything just kind of come together. One zig, one zag, and one made it through the middle. But
Booby LaBooby breaking it down for you. Bobby Labonte does a great job on Fox.
And they didn't get it done. But another Ford, like Joey said, was really proud of Michael to win it. And crazy day and night and finish. And Michael, you said Michael's car. I know you talked about how
we gotta ask you about that, right?
So that was the work they did on that car after that red flag, after the caution came back out. He had a substantial amount of damage, actually on all 4 corners of that 34 car. Drew Blickensderfer orchestrated a plan. Those guys got.
That was my favorite Joey Logano interview. The way he talked about McDowell winning the race was very lovely.
Not the last trip.
See, I paid Joey Logano a compliment.
Everybody, for the most part, did 4 tires. Denny Hamlin did 2. Austin Dillon did 2. They did 2 on that 34 car. And that
Denny Hamlin and Dale Jr. are proof that super speedway racing is a skill. How else did Dale Jr. win 4 in a row at Talladega? How did Denny Hamlin win 2 straight Daytona 500s and be in a position to win a 3rd? Oh, yeah, he's already won a 3rd, but I'm just saying 3 in a row. He could have had 4 coming out of this.
About Denny Hamlin, right? We're going to talk about Michael McDowell.
So it is a skill.
Denny Hamlin had a dominant car. That is going to be one of the stories. Who else stood out to you? Because when you look at the finishing order, you've got Ryan Preece in 6th, Ross Chastain in 7th, Jamie McMurray obviously in 8th, but some guys in that top 10 had a really good day finish-wise.
Fucking Corey LaJoie again.
Austin Dillon had a good speed week. That 3 car was fast all week. Won the dual race the other night, and then gets a good solid top 5 finish.
Yeah, he definitely was one of the only Chevrolets that was really that fast in race trim. Another one, Austin Cindric. He ran really good tonight and got caught. You know, he ran the top 5, top 10, but a lot of new guys up there towards the end of the race. But yeah, Austin had a fast race car, and both Austins did, yeah. So anyway, it was good.
Michael McDowell getting a lot of love, even from 7-time, who's still up, as everybody else is, trying to watch the end of that.
Jimmy Johnson tweeting for Michael McDowell.
So well deserved. And that, of course, from Jimmy Johnson. You think he missed being in this race tonight?
Probably not, considering we're now into Monday and the 5.5-hour delay. 2001, 2011, 2021.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight.
If Michael McDowell can get to the round of the playoffs with Talladega, who knows what'll happen, but I don't think he'll get that far. Oh, it was the great American wait for a good 8 hours. Look at their post-WrestleMania. Remember the WrestleMania highlight video that used to play at the end of every WrestleMania where it would like recap the night in the music video? That's what this reminds me of. Well, I guess this is where I leave you. It's 12:48 a.m. Monday, February 15th, and I just watched one of the worst Daytona 500s of all time. But I did enjoy myself tonight. Just objectively, bad race. But I had fun. Michael McDowell, Daytona 500 champion, playoff bound. Woo! I'll see you guys Friday for the truck race. Have a good night, and may God have mercy on our souls for what we just witnessed. Good night, everybody. Signing off.